I like it when quarterbacks, don't wear kimonos or make out with their son on camera. You know what I mean?
You're listening to the Pillaging Podcast, proud member of the Crow's Nest Podcast Network, companion podcast to CNPN. That's the Crow's Nest Podcast Network. Yeah. Call in and leave a message to be played on air at 408-909-PJFF. This episode brought to you by DC4L Custom Tees. Check them out at DC4LCustomTees.com. It's time to pillage another podcast. I'm your host, Kenny Stapler. What are you drinking tonight, Shay?
Oh, chelas. Let me reach over here and grab this bottle real quick. We got this North Coast Brewing Company again, okay?
I like that.
This time we got the Prankster, okay? This is the Prankster. This is a Belgian-style golden ale,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a 7.9 on the ABV.
On the Richter scale,
That's
dog.
that Prankster right there. That's that bottle right there. Courtesy of Bevmo.
I like that North Coast distinguishment as well.
Yeah.
Because that's where we're at right here.
Bobby, you got a little taste of that?
I did already, and it definitely has a smoky flavor, man. Almost kind of like it was barrel aged, like wine.
Yeah, It definitely has a little oakiness to it. You can see if you can see it on the screen. It's a little the clarity. It's a little foggy, which is good for Belgian. I like the Belgians because they have that like unfiltered flavor to them. It adds a little richness to them. This is good though. It's nice.
And it's smooth
It's nice.
too, man.
Smooth, low bitterness, slight bitterness on the end.
Just like in the back, if anything.
Yeah, but yeah, man. Overall, great. Can't complain.
How are you guys doing?
We're doing good.
Doing well?
Awesome,
doing
man.
good, man.
Except for this crazy wind over here, man.
Yes.
I was trying to ride over here on the bike and had to slow it down a couple times, man. I felt the damn bike drifting, man.
But Bobby was an enduro racer on the way over here, trying to keep that bike level.
Man.
Hey, everybody, follow us on Twitter at Pillaging Pod, at Kenny Stapler, at Che_PJ4F, at Kane MT6, at CNPodNet for the whole clique, and of course, the man himself at Bobby Wasabi 4080.
That's right.
If you want to keep us up with us personally or just the show, we'll leave it up to you. That's your choice. Tonight's guest is you. Yes, you, the listener, the caller. We're going to have a lot of time in the second half for some callers. We'll be breaking down our GROAT brackets, greatest rater of all time. We'll actually be setting up that bracket. This is going to be the first of 4 shows where we start ranking the brackets. We got 4 different brackets. We split up by category. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So we'll start that conversation tonight. This is a kind of ongoing segment. It's going to get us through the entire offseason. Hopefully before the preseason kickoff, we'll have your greatest rater of all time.
There you go.
And we are not making decisions. We are going to set the brackets. We're going to do our best to rank them. We're going to rank them before the caller segment. So if you're listening live and you want to call in and disagree or possibly sway our opinion on who should be ranked where, you'll have a chance to do so during that call-in segment. So if we have some time, we'll open the phone lines for maybe a live caller or 2. Also, just a reminder, merchandise, the show is brought to you by DC4L Custom Tees. That's where you can get your pillaging gear at. However, if you want some Raider fan gear, the best in the business, you're going to have to go to OneNationFanwear.com.
Yeah, goddamn right.
Printed on the finest garments by Just Win Johnny himself.
I know that guy.
And Johnny's branching out, man. Johnny's been working for Lego officially, doing some designs for them.
That's what's up.
Word?
Yeah.
Up.
A lot of people, they see the One Nation Fanwear, but they don't really understand the mind that's behind it. Johnny's had some pro contracts in the past. He's worked for NFL, all the major sports leagues, all that good stuff, and he's done some corporate work too, and he continues to do so, but his true passion is Raider Nation, so make sure you support that by going to OneNationFanwear.com. I know he's going to be trying to lower some prices for y'all. Some of you guys might think that the prices are a little steep, but these are not printed on Gildan shirts. A lot of them printed on American Apparel. It's good quality stuff, and you're going to pay for it. You're going to get what you pay for. I've been rocking my shirts every single week. They're holding up strong. They wash up well, so I like it. I support it. He's got the hats too. I'm wearing the Proudly Hated hat as I usually do every week. I need to get a new hat because I'm not wearing this one out. This one's holding up good, but we got to get some variety in there.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what?
Gotta
I'm
mix
not
it
going to
up.
lie. Every now and again, I actually will throw on the that basketball jersey that Johnny
There you
hooked
go.
me up with.
There
That
you
white
go.
one, that One Nation.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's like, I'm going to the store real quick. So I'm going to wear it for like a hot minute, show it off all nice looking, and then just put it right back in the closet, man.
Keep it crisp.
Well, not only that, but it's not really that warm right now, too. So, I had to show off in spurts, until summertime. And
I feel
then
you.
right then and there, it's going to be out all the time.
I feel you. No, I've actually been rocking that Lake Show, that Showtime shirt that Johnny put out. That I might have thrown some suggestions out there to him. I'm not gonna take any credit because the mine is all his. He put that shit together on that T-shirt, but he was like, "Yo, I know you're a Laker fan. Throw some ideas at me." So I did. He put that shit together and made it work. He created this dope ass fucking emblem. It's basically the fucking the Converse little emblem from the Chuck. And then inside he had the LA. I'm like, if that dude was able to get those actually made into little patches, I would put them bitches on my Chucks, bro. That would be dope. That would be fire. So Johnny, you might want to get to work on that one, man. Those would sell like hotcakes.
You get some purple Chucks.
I've been rocking that. Of course, we all know Kobe Bryant. His passing, came as a surprise. So I've been wearing my Lakers stuff out and about. Yeah.
Of course, you gotta hold it down. A couple of preemptive shout outs before we get started here. Shout out to Edit Society Out on Twitter. Let me make sure I got that right. He did some new video backdrops for us, so you guys are going to see some of those graphics today. Let me see. Yeah, Edit Out Society. So that's the name of the Twitter profile. He's got a small following, very, very small following. He's pretty low key on there, but he does great video work. So you'll see a new transition in here tonight. You'll see a new graphic for the caller segment. So shout out to you, dog. We're going to keep working together, and hopefully he's going to help us get some smaller clips on YouTube too. So for those of you that don't want to sit through the 3-hour show, you're going to be able to maybe get some more digestible chunks. We've tried doing that once or twice in the past. It's just we're real busy, so we need extra hands. If anybody else wants to help out with some of the video editing, let me know. You can message me on Twitter, or you can email us, all that good stuff. It's in the link underneath this show. So, and then shout out to Sean136, or I should say Dragon Dave's Medicated Salsa. We're going to be reviewing that right now.
There you go.
These are medicated sauces right here. That's all I'm going to say, that they're medicated. You can do the math on that. We should probably crack these open right now before I do the rundown.
I mean, let's go. Go ahead, man. We got the chicharrones right here. In our, yes, we still have our Raider Bowls from good old Oakland Coliseum, from all those delicious carnitas nachos that we threw back.
I don't know why people would leave those there, man. And it was funny because as soon as you guys just noticed them, you guys just copped them up right away, and I was like, damn it.
Hey, man, but you know what? We paid for a good fucking 5 of them ourselves.
$20 a pop, bro.
Yeah. And then we said, you know what? We could go ahead and scoop up some of these extra containers too, man. What's the problem with that?
Hey, you know what?
You know what I mean?
That's true. I've actually gotten a couple of extra cups of beer that I walk away with. Did you see those lying around? Hey, man.
Hey, those are souvenir cups, bro.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
This is a souvenir bowl right here, bro.
So we're looking at this. This is a salsa verde.
Salsa verde.
It's a green, and then this looks like it might be a cheese mix. The flavors aren't labeled, but if I recall correctly, that's pretty close. I think there's like a jalapeno cheese right there. So we'll try that. We got some chicharrones right here to try them on. Why don't you guys dip in first, and maybe somebody can hand me one. I can try it out. I'd like to try both flavors when you get around to it. While you guys are doing that, take your bites, savor. Let me know what the flavor looks like, tastes like, smells like, all that. But tonight's show is a big one. We got your Raiders news for you. A little light on that, but some good talking points. So I'm sure you'll have some good conversation there. Like I said earlier, the greatest Raider of all time. We begin that conversation tonight during Kane's Corner in the second half of the show. Also looking back just a little bit on Super Bowl 54. Raider fans, I know you guys were out at some Super Bowl parties. Bay Area Raider fans probably in the Lions Den, if I can call it that. It's a bit of a stretch, but Niner fan Super Bowl parties. I don't know how that went. Got a lot to say there. The truth behind these Tom Brady rumors, we're going to try to get to the bottom of it. Preemptively, I just want to say, y'all put me on blast when I mentioned it a month ago that this was going to be a possibility, that this was going to be a conversation, and here it is. Now, who's laughing now, dog? Here we are. Get ready. This is going to continue to at least March.
Listen. For those of you who did have something negative to say because we brought it up on the show, I just want to say we're not here to sugarcoat shit for y'all. We're here to just kick the real. And when this shit hit, when we got word that Tom Brady was probably or might not be going back to the Patriots, we're just kicking the real to you. There's a very fucking real possibility that the Raiders would be interested in him. That doesn't mean that we want it to happen. It doesn't mean that we're like, oh, yes, Tom Brady, he's finally free agent. Not at all. We're just telling you what we expect this fucking organization to fucking possibly do. And as you can see, as time has gone on in these last few weeks, you're hearing more and more that it's a possibility and that they're interested at least, right? So don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah.
We're just here to tell you guys what we think is really going on. That's all.
So put a pin in that. We'll talk about that in a minute here. Jalen Richard extended. Oh, Bobby's keeping it coming. I'm good, Bobby.
Keep coming.
Hey, well, you know what? That's the one thing is that you guys got to remember as well, for anyone out there that's tailgating with the Pillagers, Kenny is always the hardest working man out there. Kenny and Che and Kane. I was out there meeting and greeting, shaking hands and kissing babies and whatnot, christening Raider babies. That's what they're doing out there. But you always got to make sure that these fellas are well fed, and that's the one thing, man.
Hey,
appreciate you, dog.
Appreciate that, brother.
And make sure nothing catches on fire, as you know. And then last but not least, XFL. Anyone watching that? 3.3 million people watched the debut game. So I think it's maybe time to talk a little XFL. I myself was impressed. I thought that the quality was good, and I enjoyed seeing some football on my television here in late February. So why don't you hit him with that brand new transition, and then we'll get into some quick hits, dog.
Yeah. Yeah, boy.
Quick hits. And let's get into this right now. Okay. You guys ready for this? Jalen Richard received an extension from the Raiders this past week. Richard expected to be retained for 2 more years to the tune of $7 million, with $4.6 million being fully guaranteed. The undrafted free agent has proven to be a more than capable third down back and a change of pace in the Raiders' running stable. What does this all mean? It means Jalen Richard, he's become a stalwart in this offense, man. He's officially staple of the the Las Vegas Raiders. He's here to stay. And it feels good, man. Feels good.
Absolutely, man. And this is what, we were talking about, the running backs and the running back situation, who sticks, who goes, not that long ago. And I've always felt like Jalen Richard sticks for various reasons, because he adds a little wrinkle to the offense, right? Because of the abilities that he has as a pass catching running back, and he's got a little change of speed to him, right? Like you see him, he moves a little differently. He's got a little more jump, a little more juice, and to top off, he's undrafted. He's an undrafted guy that we got a couple years back. And so you already knew that the money going his way wasn't a whole lot. So to throw a little extension his way, and we know he wasn't the lead back last year, so it wasn't going to cost us much more to keep him on for a couple more years, right? I just thought it made sense. Well, not only that too, but they actually it shows that they trusted him a lot more. I mean, look at what was it that fucking not the receiver, but it was the kickoff returner. Remember, we had him for a minute, and then he sucked, so got him out of there, and they actually put Richard in there because they trusted him a lot more.
Yeah.
So it definitely shows. I was kind of hoping a little bit more for Washington, just because he has shown that spurt.
Yeah.
But in reality, when I had sat down, I was like, well, I remember, rooting for Richard. And that's who I wanted. So, it makes sense that I've rooted for Richard before. So when I saw that, I was like, that's perfect right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you bring up Washington. Raider Ben's in here. He's saying Washington greater than Richard. You guys know here on the podcast, we're big fans of DeAndre Washington. But these guys have now, when they started off, they both, Washington not an undrafted free agent, but both rookies coming into the league at the same time. 2016, both had great years. I think they both averaged like 4.6, 4.7 yards per carry. Both of them had a couple home run hits that year from the line of scrimmage. So, they're often compared to each other as like which one's going to get the nod, which one's going to pull ahead in this race. But I think now the years have gone on, Washington and Richard have shown that the personalities on the field, I should say their style of play on the field, very different.
Yeah.
Washington looking like more of a backup to our main running back.
Yeah.
Somebody say his name, please. Bless the show. Bless the show.
Josh Jacobs. Bro.
Thank you. Bless the show. Josh Jacobs. All praise due.
You got me off guard, bro. Bless the show. Bless the show. I was like, yo, I don't got no fucking holy water over here.
So he more akin to Josh Jacobs' running style in that he's a bit more physical than Rashard. Likes to fall forward, pretty tough. And Rashard, that speed guy. I compared him to Darren Sproles first. Compared him to Ricky Prohl because I have my name all fucked up. But yeah.
You know, it's funny. I was watching XFL and I saw some dude with the last name Prohl, and I was like, Ricky Prohl.
Bro, where the hell has Ricky Prohl been living in my brain all these years? And then pops up all of a sudden.
Hey, you know what it is? It's these medicated sauces, bro.
It might be.
So salsa update. We tried them.
Yeah.
These are delicious, bro.
Hey, they are good, man. You know what? I like the queso. Mm-hmm. Okay, the cheese is good. I mean, you can't go wrong with cheese.
It's good. Right? It's tasty.
It's good. It's got good flavor. I got to say that the salsa verde, it's a little more mild, right? Mild in flavor and definitely mild in spice. Mm-hmm. It's got a little kick at the end, but not enough to get our attention.
Right.
Because, we're veterans of the salsa game.
Could use a citrus kick, maybe.
Yeah, a little tang would be nice.
A little more garlic.
A little garlic would be nice also. And I wouldn't mind if you just kicked it up with some more peppers, bro. But you know what?
But it's good.
It's good. It's delicious.
It is
and as far as the medicated part is concerned, they actually kept it very clean because a lot of the times people they overload it too much, and that just completely ruins the entire flavor of the salsa.
Yeah, the point of making a fucking salsa that's medicated is that you feel like you're eating salsa.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not that you're fucking
eating lawn trimmings. Yeah. You cannot taste the flour at all in these. Very good. Very dangerous in that regard. The queso, it tastes great. If you like that, for those of you that don't get queso, like authentic queso, let me put it to you like this. If you ever get that cheese, that Frito cheese dip in the jar, you're going to like this. It's that with class. It's that with flavor.
There you go.
It's very good. And the kick is mild. It's there. There's some heat in my mouth right now, but it's not too much. So for those of you that are like, don't like the heat, you'll take this just fine. And for those of you that do like the heat, you'll appreciate the small burn that's in the background. It's good. It's definitely there. These sauces are great, man. Better than I expected. I didn't expect them to be bad, but good. I would definitely buy these. I would eat them again. I'd put them out at a party, and I would not tell anybody that they're medicated.
Yeah, that's definitely one of those that you put it next to the chips.
Tailgate update, right?
Yes.
This is going to update the tailgate, right?
Yeah.
We're going to go from the Pocky chips to the medicated salsas.
Yeah.
Dude, taking it to the next level right there, Chair. Hell yeah.
Shout out
Pocky
to
chips and medicated salsas. That's taking it to another level.
Shout out to Austin Lepla for the donation. He sent $5 in the YouTube chat. You can too. Austin says, "What's up, Kenny, Che, Bobby? Keep up the good work. Love the show. Go Raiders." Hey, we love you too, brother.
Appreciate you, brother.
Definitely go Raiders all day, every day.
And you know what? He's always in here too on the group chat.
He is. Austin's definitely up in there. Raider Ben's in there right now. Vince is in there. St. Kaufman holding it down for PJ4F.com. Watch Raiders in the house. Raider Homers in the house. We got the whole collective is in the mix tonight. So Raider Ben, No Name is in there. Yeah. Mojo's in there. Juice is in there. Dapper Dan is in there. Rolling Dubs. So that's the roll call for y'all right there. Depressed Raider fans in there. Mojo was good. Hope that theme song's treating you well. Irish Raider, shout out to you, dog. Moki's in there. Yeah, man, it's lively chat tonight. It's good to see y'all in here. We miss being in the studio.
Real quick, because I see people are arguing against Rashard. Okay, and let me just say this, because we don't disagree with your take. If you're a Washington guy, if you're on Washington's side, we don't disagree with you. We like Washington too. I mean, you've been a big fan since we drafted Washington, right? When we drafted Washington, you were big on him. You were like, yo, Washington, that's the guy I think we got to look out for, because I think he's going to eventually become the guy. And I think he shows all the abilities to be a reasonable number one back at times. But because we have a guy like Josh Jacobs, I feel like their attributes are too similar. Mm-hmm. And maybe Washington's to a lesser effect, obviously, right?
Yeah.
And I think that when we think of the Gruden teams of the past, we had multiple backs, and they were all very specific in what their abilities were. We had a Tyrone Wheatley that was a big bruising back that could make big plays, right? But he had that size, right? Mm-hmm. Then we had a Charlie Garner or a Napoleon Kaufman with the quickness, the bounce back, and all that kind of movement, right? And then we also had Zach Crockett, who's goal line to
Smasher.
the day. Yeah, just goal line, just go in there and score touchdowns. Rob all the touchdowns from the running backs that got us to the goal line.
Yeah.
Just go get all the touchdowns, right? And then you had, even John Ritchie, right? Fullback, blocking, bleeding all over his face, and then catch a pass from the backfield every once in a while, score a touchdown. You want versatility in your backs. You don't want them to look so similar.
Oh, yeah, no one. You don't want your backfield to be one note.
Exactly. You don't want every single one of your running backs to look like the other one.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the biggest key in this decision is we keep a guy like Rashard because he adds a different wrinkle to the offense.
Mm-hmm.
Not because he's necessarily the better running back overall, but because he complements Jacobs a lot better.
It makes us dynamic.
Yeah.
And would you say we have a plethora
of
running backs?
A plethora?
What is a plethora?
But so those of you who are against it, man, it is what it is. We're with them now. That saves us from having to go out there and get another change of pace back. Rashard's in the system, knows the system, very comfortable, has a Raider identity. He's going to ride with this team for at least the next 2 years. I love it. Personally, love the move. Welcome back, Rocket. Like to see you there. Just when Johnny designed the shirts for Rashard's youth football camps as well. So, again, shout out to OneNationFanwear.com. Let's keep it moving. Another quick hit right here.
Yeah, boy.
Just 2 weeks ago, Adam Schefter reported that the Raiders would be making a major push to sign Tom Brady if he becomes available after the March 18th free agency signing period begins. Again, I mentioned this as a possibility and something to keep an eye on last month. I mentioned this last month. Y'all thought I was crazy. Look, I'm not saying I'm for this. You guys sometimes think because I say something that I'm a big fan of it. I'm a fan of how logical it is. I'm not a fan of seeing Tom Brady in a Raider uniform. Let's get that straight right now. That is cringeworthy. That would be really hard to stomach. But now you see Schefter reporting this, so there's some truth to it. The smoke is in the air. Now, we're going to tease this out a little bit. To follow up on Schefter's report, this week, Mike Lombardi wrote in The Athletic, and we've had Lombardi on this show. He was a great guest, read his book. It was actually a great book. I don't know how y'all feel about Lombardi. I know he's a polarizing figure, but the guy is a great writer. I love his written work quite a bit, and he was a good guest to come on here during his book tour. It's just us, man. We're just a lowly little podcast, and dude took some time off to speak with us. And this is a guy worked very closely with Al Davis. If you read his book, glowing comments about Al Davis in there. Worked very closely with Bill Walsh. Also worked very closely with Bill Belichick. So Lombardi's been around some of the greatest football minds out there. Now, how he is as a GM, now that's a different story. But we're talking about what he's reporting. So this week he wrote, and again, he quoted sources in quotes. And now a lot of times these sources are agents. And agents will throw things out there because agents are salesmen. They got to sell things too. But Lombardi wrote that all the Raiders' glowing reviews of Derek Carr have been nothing but a sales pitch. And that's what you do. You're talking up your quarterback. It could be one of two things. Either they really love Derek and they want to keep him and they really believe in him, or they're talking him up because they're looking to increase some trade value and see what they can get for Derek Carr. Lombardi says it's the latter. He goes on to say that behind the scenes, the Silver and Black have been searching for Carr's replacement in Vegas. He also points to Tom Brady as a potential suitor for that position. So now you got two of these big media names out there really throwing out there, a recipe of change, and Tom Brady being a possible replacement. I also brought up the possibility of the Raiders making a first-round push to bring in a rookie quarterback to develop, whether it's Herbert, Tua, whoever you want to say, or it's a late-round project pick. I wouldn't be shocked to see this go down. In fact, I expect this to actually happen. The Raiders will draft a quarterback this year. That's me saying that, not this whole show. I don't speak for everybody here. We'll open up the panel here in a second. But I do expect it to happen. Now, bringing in a vet to keep the organization above water for the first couple of years in Vegas also makes a lot of sense while that vet coaches up whoever they draft this year. Right. Whether that person's going to be Derek Carr or not, we kind of talked about that in our last episode, remains to be seen. That all remains to be seen. On the other side, Tom Brady could very well be leveraging the Raiders for a high salary somewhere else, possibly in New England. Now, let me move forward on this. Tom Brady was supposedly seen to be packing up his house in New England. I don't think people actually saw him out there loading up a U-Haul, yelling at Giselle.
No, apparently though, you know who they did videotape at least leaving his home was your boy, Cry Me a River.
Every time you say your boy, I know you're about to say some dumb shit afterwards, bro.
That's a warning, bro. Because he ain't my boy. Yeah. He's got to be somebody's boy. No, but
he was loading up all his kids and chitty chitty bang bang.
somebody had a camera of the fucking moving trucks leaving the Rivers residence. This was months before the charge. I mean, well, at least maybe weeks. I'll take that back. Maybe that's a little excessive. Mm-hmm. Weeks before the Charger said we're going to be moving ahead without Rivers. Yeah. So there was a little key to it. I don't know if anybody was videotaping Tom Brady's house in New England, but yeah.
I don't think anyone's allowed to get close enough.
Probably not. Probably not.
It was probably Antonio Brown. He was probably recording it. He's probably outside of his house screaming and shit.
They got TB12 secret agents roaming the premises trying to keep everybody out. So furthermore, Brady was also reportedly buying property in Las Vegas. Now, this could mean nothing. Brady spends a lot of time on the West Coast. As you guys know, he is a Bay Area native. In the offseason, he does train in LA. He spends time in San Diego. The Chargers have also been linked to Tom Brady. It also makes a lot of sense for that organization to go out and whiff on Tom Brady. But yeah, so I mean, a lot of signs point to this being a possibility. It could all be smoke. This could all mean absolutely nothing come March 18th when New England ponies up the cash and brings in Tom Brady. Keep in mind that Derek Carr is making more money than Tom Brady's ever made in his entire career. I think Tom Brady made like 17 mil. He was making 14 mil on his last contract. Rumors are also that Tom is looking for a $30 million contract in his final, send off in the NFL.
Right.
And, damn it to hell, but the guy deserves it. Does he not?
I mean, 6 championships, yeah. I guess you would say, yeah.
The guy's making cash hand over fist in promotional deals and whatnot.
No,
so he's not hurting for the money.
Not at all.
He's done what's right for his team to stay in that New England system. Tom's smart. He knows Belichick will cut your ass to save $1 because it's really all about that bottom line in New England. And they do a lot of analytics, and Bill's never hesitates to make a shrewd maneuver. So, Tom's done what he has to do to keep that legacy and that dynasty going over there. But has it come to an end? It seems like it has. So let's open this up a little bit. Let me ask you guys a question. Can Tom, if this were to happen, regardless of where he goes, can he be effective at his age?
And you know what, man? I think he can still be effective. How effective he'll be, that's the question, right? I think we saw a little bit of aging this year. The last couple of years, we've been saying like, "Oh, Tom Brady's going to get old. He's going to start to fall off," and his fucking workout regimen and all the shit that he does outside of the New England locker room, right? Outside of the trainers that they have there, for some reason has turned out well for him, right? He's been able to get through it, and he's talked about playing till 45 and shit like that. So you have reason to believe that this guy can turn it around. What we saw in New England this year is a big offensive struggle. Defensively, they were great. Offensively, they started off well, and then they just teetered off, right? And it seemed like pieces just did not fit. I mean, they picked up AB after we dropped them. He played one game for them and then was suspended for the rest of the year, or let go for the rest of the year. Josh Gordon was picked up by them, never panned out, didn't really play. I heard that they knew he was going to test dirty, so that's the reason why they sat him for a while before they cut him. And then when he got released and Seattle picked him up, then all of a sudden he tests dirty, right? And then they brought in Mohamed Sanu, and they thought, this is it. This is going to be the guy that's going to fucking like get our offense to pick back up. Didn't pan out either. So who knows what the question is, right? Me and Kane argued back and forth about the equalness between the receiving cores of the Raiders and the Patriots, and all I was saying was they did not produce just like our receiving core didn't produce, right?
Names or no names, the production was about the same.
The production wasn't there. You could say that the talent level was better, but the production wasn't there. There wasn't enough to back it up to say that crew is better than this crew. So you got to question, does that mean that Tom Brady, he doesn't have it no more? And I think age is getting to him for sure. Yeah, I mean, the clock's ticking, dog. Like, not everybody's clock is ticking. Okay, I just blew out my fucking knee a couple fucking weeks ago. Okay, like I'm 37 years old, right? Mm-hmm. Tom Brady's 42, 43. Those are facts. Those are facts. I'm 37 years old. I feel it in my knee, my left knee right now. But he's 43 years old. So I mean, Father Time is calling for you, dog. He's saying, come on home to the Barca Lounger back in your place. Yeah. Kick them feet up, dog. You done your job, right? Yeah. Especially with the 6 championships. But I would never count a motherfucker out unless it's absolutely like dire, like where you see like, nah, man, it's time to hang him up. I don't think we've seen that point. Mm-hmm. I think you see him go out there, he competes. As much as we don't like him to fucking win and stuff, he figured out a way to get his team into the playoffs still this season. And they were one of the top seeds, even though they got knocked out early.
Yeah.
So, I mean, can he get it done? I don't think we've seen enough to say that he can't.
Yeah.
That's as far as I would go with it.
The brain is sharp as ever. He could run the game plan.
Absolutely.
And his ball didn't look too bad. He hasn't thrown the deep ball in a while. He hasn't really had anybody to throw it to. The mobility hasn't been a factor for some time.
I mean, the mobility has never been a factor. He was never a mobile quarterback, okay? No. First and foremost. Yes, he's gotten beat up. He's even less mobile now. But we, as Raider fans, have had to deal with a quarterback that is very capable of being mobile, but doesn't do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
doesn't mobilize.
What's the fucking difference? Like, what's the difference when you got a quarterback that can but won't, and you got a quarterback that can't but tries? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it fucking evens out to me, if you ask me. And the biggest thing is knowing when you got to get the fuck out of there. Mm-hmm. And I think that the awareness, even though he's old man and maybe his reaction time isn't going to be the same, mm-hmm. I think there's enough to be said there that there's a little bit more awareness when to get the fuck out of there mm-hmm. than we've seen from Carr. I'm sorry, Carr. Like, I'm just being real. And I want you to fucking perform better.
And the willingness to stand in there and take a shot.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you actually brought up the whole idea about the whole weapons, the offensive weapons, mm-hmm. because it's true. The level of talent may not have been very spectacular in New England, but at the same time, I think the reason why he struggled this year was because of that offensive line.
There you go. There you go.
The other thing that didn't get brought up in the conversation you had with Kane is the run game.
Well, I mean, the run game was a wash. We know that Jacobs is a better running back than New England has, and we have a better tight end than New England has. Okay, if Gronk was still there, that would have obviously a difference. But also, I wanted to point out that in the later months, going into the playoffs and during the playoffs, New England's had a better run game than they had this year. They actually lean on the run a lot heavier in the later months. Bill Belichick does switch up his approach going into the playoffs, and New England has been, I won't say a run heavy team, but they get the job done at the running back. They couldn't get it done this year too, so that's something that did not get talked about. I know it's an obvious tilt towards the Raiders, but you know, if you're looking at a draw to bring somebody over here, that's one of them, and the offensive line that we have currently set up right now in Vegas. So the other thing, we're talking about this as fans, as guys that watch the game. We're talking about numbers and getting it done, skill sets, you know, where are they at in their career. But we're not talking about the business side of this, the marketability of all of it. Right.
If you're Mark Davis or and you're trying to sell tickets, you're in the entertainment capital of the world. You're trying to cultivate a new pocket of your fan base. You know, bringing in a guy like Tom Brady, as much as it divides the rest of your fan base, you know, it's going to bring a lot of eyeballs. It's going to be a lot of TV cameras
absolutely
onto your team. And this is not Al Davis's Raiders anymore. You had Hard Knocks last year.
But this is an Al Davis ass move. We were talking about this downstairs. This is something that Al Davis would fucking do mm-hmm. in a heartbeat. Mm-hmm. He would bring the fucking 6-time champion quarterback into his fucking team, bro.
Even if it was for a year or two.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true, man.
So, I mean, we can dispute it. We can talk about why it doesn't make sense. We could talk about why we shouldn't do it. But the bottom line is, mm-hmm. it's fucking real. It's a real possibility, and don't be surprised and don't get all up in your fucking panties about it when and if it does happen.
Yeah.
That's just it.
And there's nothing wrong with having a healthy conversation about
Absolutely
something
not.
like that. I mean,
That's what the fuck we're here for.
it's about winning. It's not about being, a stand. Remember, we have to remember that. It's about getting that W, man.
We're definitely not stands.
Definitely not stands. no stands over here.
No.
So for those that don't like Tom Brady and for those that don't like Derek Carr, that's a big wedge of people that they want to move on from Carr. They don't want to see Tom Brady in the silver and black. What are some alternatives out there to Derek Carr that are not named Tom Brady? You got Jameis Winston coming out.
No,
That's not going to happen.
No.
Marcus Mariota is probably less enticing and less exciting to me than Derek Carr.
Yeah.
Got benched, got drafted the same year, got benched real quick this year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ryan Tannehill, if he doesn't get franchised or re-signed by Tennessee, which probably will.
He will.
He's gonna get tagged or he's gonna get re-signed.
And especially after he got that lame ass award, he shouldn't have gotten that.
Yeah.
I had to say that he should not have gotten that comeback player award. That should have been Darren Waller.
Yeah.
There you go.
All
Yeah.
day,
There you go.
every
There
day.
you go.
We called that. And I kind of warned you guys too on another subject that Josh Jacobs was not going to get offensive rookie of the year based on the injury. And, if he had stayed consistently healthy and on the field every single game, which he practically did, I think he would have been the shoe-in. But I think that was probably the pebble that derailed that cart. But Josh Jacobs, we know who you are.
I gotta say
We
this,
see
though.
you, dog.
I gotta say this, though. Shannon Sharp
Josh
went
Jacobs.
out.
You the real MVP.
You goddamn right.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw Shannon Sharp get on his show with
I
fucking
didn't see that.
Skip Bayless,
Mm-hmm.
but he was talking about Josh Jacobs should have been the offensive rookie of the year.
No, word.
For sure. He was more productive. Kyler Murray was he was okay. But what was the difference in the wins for Arizona versus the difference in the wins for the Raiders?
Yeah, no doubt. Josh Jacobs did a lot more to help his team than Kyler Murray did. Kyler Murray helped his fan base more than he helped his team.
There you go.
If that makes sense.
There you go.
So
Well, not only that too, but I like to say that the whole reason why he was given that is just so that they could save face. I mean, look who went, first overall, and they're like, "Oh my God, he's gonna make it happen. He's gonna, change the name of the QBs and blah blah blah." And he was just another quarterback that started his first year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's all it was. And remember how everybody was all, "Oh my God, the Raiders are gonna take him," and blah blah blah. I was glad they didn't take him.
I mean, they would have never gotten up there anyways. Arizona wasn't going to trade that pick away. Their head coach was decided that he was going to take Kyler Murray. It was a give. It was already set in stone.
Yeah.
So there wasn't going to be enough that you could trade to Arizona to get him anyways. That's really the reason why the Raiders wouldn't have taken him.
Mm-hmm.
Now, had he fallen to the Raiders, I don't know. But we didn't like it. Size-wise, all that other stuff that goes into it, we didn't really care for us picking up a guy that's, 5'6". Maybe.
and heels. Shout out to Game On Dude for the donation. We appreciate it. He says Raiders need to draft quarterback Ray Pist from Penn State. Nice comment. Very clever.
I'll add him to the list.
Very clever. I almost Googled that. Very nice. You got me to say Ray Pist on a podcast. Shout out to Irish Raider he donated €10. It's our first Euro donation to the podcast.
Hey, that's some heavyweight money right there, bro.
It is. I always picture euros to be like giant gold coins.
Fucking stole them from a fucking leprechaun or what, bro?
I like metal money. I want to walk around with my money in like a little leather bag, and
You just want it weighing your fucking pants down, just fucking.
you tie it to the belt loop, and you get this whole Renaissance look going on.
That's the original fanny pack right there, bro.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Facts.
That was the whole reason for fucking suspenders in the first place, bro. Fucking overalls were invented for fucking coin money, bro.
I got 3 pounds of silver on my hip. Who wants to party? Who wants to party? I'm throwing my shillings down on the table. Irish Raider says, who made the better song, AB or that skinny chick in Vegas? Well, I'm glad you bring that up because that's our next quick hit.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah.
Did anybody hear this song? Or is it just me that suffered through it?
I couldn't listen to the whole thing, bro. Honestly, I couldn't.
I had to for scientific purposes sit there and watch the whole thing, and I was traumatized by the mere fact of the music alone.
Mm-hmm. And then the visual,
and then the visual
took it over the top, right?
I literally, like, my jaw dropped, and I was like, "What in the
Walter White is going on here?"
Yes,
they hit their head hard enough. Little meth sacks fall out like sonic rings. First of all, we don't need you to create a new Raiders anthem. Okay?
Nope.
We got plenty of those. We got the Autumn Wind.
Yep.
Ice Cube.
Classic.
Yep.
Got Raider Nation.
Yep.
And I got the One Nation Fanwear theme song.
Hey, and the Loonies, bruh.
And the Loonies, dog.
Don't forget the Loonies.
Who called it?
Who had us moving to Las Vegas in 1998.
There you go.
When they dropped that track, or I think it was 98.
They were the original Looney Damuses, dude.
There you go, Looney Damus.
Plenty of Raider anthems out there. We don't need you in your vegan shoes coming with the new reappropriated Raider anthem, and you couldn't even do it original. You had to jump on top of Ice Cube's song.
Yeah.
Did you even talk to Ice Cube about this?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
I can't even say the name of the song on the air.
No.
But I'm sorry, lady. Ice Cube's got a song for you. I think it's on the America's Most Wanted album.
Yes.
You can go check that out. I highly recommend it.
It's one of my favorite albums, honestly.
Yeah. You guys know what song I'm talking about. And that album was actually produced on the East Coast, but that's a history lesson for another podcast.
There you go.
Yeah, so this song came from the Naked Jedi show, which is another bad idea based on a great idea. Yeah, I don't know what y'all are doing out there in Vegas, man. I was feeling good about this move.
No.
Now you got me type nervous.
Whatever you were doing that led up to this, stop doing that shit. Stop doing that shit.
12 steps to recovery.
Shit.
And, honor every step.
It just wasn't a very smart move. Not only that, too, but I believe somebody brought up in the comments, I was reading the threads a little bit. I mean, there was just way too many comments to even keep up with it. But I was reading a couple of them, and someone was like, for real? It's not like your flows are that intricate. Why the hell are you looking at your phone the entire fucking time?
I'd rather slap Riley Reid's rap song over that one. And she said the N-word and got a pass on that.
I don't know. I
don't know who gave her the pass, so I'm not even gonna. I'm
probably one of the 15 guys in that last gangbang she had. That's my guess.
That's facts.
That's my guess.
That's probably facts, bro. I'm not gonna lie. It's probably facts.
Shout out to Riley Reid. Keeping it real natural down there too. I know some of y'all like that.
Please just stop. Just stop, lady. Just go back to, I don't know what the hell you were doing before, but just don't do this no more.
We know what she was doing before.
Well, we obviously
Shout
know.
out Walter White.
Shout out.
Shout out Walter White.
We know she was rocking the baby, dude.
Come on, dog.
I mean, shit.
Jesus Christ.
She's on that blue. She's on that blue. Those blue tops.
She definitely needs to reevaluate her life right now.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's anyway, shout out to Irish Raider for bringing that topic to the show. It was that was entertaining, if anything. Next.
Yep.
Super Bowl 54. Let's talk about this. How was your Super Bowl Sunday, Che? I know you were in the belly of the beast. I was with Bobby out on a satellite mission eating some good barbecue, but you were out there at a 49ers Super Bowl house party.
Yeah, I was, man.
So give us the rundown on that from the moment you walked in. I know you was decked out.
Oh, no, you already know. I rolled up into that bitch just like this. Blacked out, black and silver from head to toe, bro. I had my Raider hat on. I had my Pillaging, my podcast. Actually, you know what? I had that shirt on.
Okay.
I had that very same shirt on. Yep. That's the shirt I wore. Yep. Show them what I got. Show them what you got, Kenny.
Is it in there?
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, that's in there. Give him on the back, it has some of the all-time greats. Yeah, you see that? That shit's fire. Yeah, that's a dope ass shirt. We got that shit from the fucking bootleggers outside the stadium.
That's it.
Yeah.
That was the last day too.
Yeah, that was the last game.
We bought all that old gear.
We bought all that shit up.
Yeah.
We spent like 40, 50, 60 bucks out there, bro.
Total.
A piece. A piece, dog. No, but so I rocked that shit. I walked in there and I walked in the house because the game was already started. So I walked in with, I had went and got some brews. Me and my boy like to get down on the brews together. I walk in, and as I walk into the living room, everyone goes, "Of course you came like that." I was like, "What the fuck did you expect me to come in?
Mm-hmm.
Did you expect me to come in here in some fucking Niner gear? I know you didn't expect that.
Joining the party, guys.
I'm gonna be fucking wearing my
One in
fucking
Rome.
team
One in Rome.
to the day I fucking die." Okay. So I rolled in there and they just fucking laughed or whatever, and they're like, "All right," they were all excited. And of course, man, the game was going their way. So there was a lot of cheering, a lot of
Allegedly.
a lot of hollering. Mm-hmm. And I sat there and I ate up their fucking tomahawk steaks.
Yeah, you did.
And I drank up all the brews. And I chit-chatted with everybody. And I was like, hey, that was pretty good play. That's all. You guys intercepted fucking Patrick Mahomes twice. That's fantastic. Knowing goddamn well that the score was 20-10 going into the fourth quarter, and it was not nearly enough points to be comfortable.
Let me speak on that really quick before you move forward. We were talking about this downstairs.
Yeah.
A lot of people are talking about, the Niners pissed this one away. It was in their grasp. It was in their hands. And I watched this game a couple times. This game was never in their grasp. I felt like Kansas City had the momentum from the get. I felt like it swayed. It definitely swayed after the first half. But 10 points up on KC. KC was down by 21, I believe, was it Tennessee?
Tennessee.
Yep.
Yeah, in the first quarter.
Yep.
And smoked them.
Yeah.
Steamrolled them.
Yep.
I never thought you had this. You had some opportunities you could not capitalize on. And so did KC at that point. And KC, I felt, had all the momentum. A lot of people are making a big deal of this 10-point lead. It's only 10 points.
Yeah.
The bigger deal is you gave up 21 in under 7 minutes.
Yep.
So continue.
Yeah. No, so we sat there and everybody was asking me, well, you gotta be going for somebody, right? And I looked at them and I said, "You fucking kidding me, right? I hate you both. I hate both your guts, okay? Fuck Kansas City and fuck the Niners. I'm here to watch the game. I got invited. I'm here to hang out with my boys, drink some beers, have some good food, whatever, watch some football. But I'm not going to be happy if you win or if they win. I'm going to be very unhappy. Okay? Plain and simple. And the game starts going. They're like, okay, well, we respect that. We respect that. Game starts going. And again, like I said, stuff starts going their way. But like you said, they never took control of the game.
No.
The game was always close. And to me, when you have a team that can score as much as Kansas City can and as fast as Kansas City can, that's a bad recipe. And what I kept telling him was like, don't put the ball back in that motherfucker's hands. Like, you better hope they don't put the ball back in that motherfucker's hands. And at that point, they were getting to Mahomes. They were sacking him. So it was a lot of excitement. But nothing was happening to really pull away from them. And so going into that fourth quarter, I think they get that interception, the second interception. And I was like, that's what you guys need. Now you need to run the ball. If you guys really want to win this game, need to run the ball, keep Mahomes on the sideline, eat up the clock, and maybe you come away with a field goal. Even if you didn't score, get down the fucking field.
None of that happened.
Eat up the clock. Doesn't happen. And then fucking it just starts to fall apart and unravel. And everybody's excitement goes to fucking like, oh, it's okay. We still got this. We still got it. We're still winning. And then all of a sudden, the game is fucking basically tied up. And then the fucking Chiefs get that go-ahead score. And all the fucking happiness and all the we're about to be Super Bowl champions.
We're going to be champion.
Disappears, bro. Everybody just gets real quiet. It got silent. And it's so silent you could hear me chewing on the tomahawk steak.
Steak's good.
And drinking the beer. And at that point, I think I had moved on to a couple fucking Rice Krispie treats shaped like footballs. And I was like, these are pretty good Rice Krispie treats.
Che was over there. I know this much is true.
So then the Niners offense, the Niners get the ball back with like a minute, like a minute 10, minute 20, and everybody's silent. But my boy and his sister, they're just like, we can still do this. And my boy was a little bit like, I don't know. And then he was like, no, yeah, we can. And then Garoppolo shits the bed and fucking turns the ball over. And then it was over. And it was just sadness and just quiet. And I was like, man, I know I really don't like either of these teams. But this is kind of satisfying. Right?
Yeah, right.
It's kind of satisfying. I'm not going to lie.
Hey,
it's a little satisfying right now.
Hey, I work with plenty of Niner fans, though.
But listen, man, I gotta say this. I do gotta say this. My boy, as much of a Niner fan as he is, and we've cracked some jokes on him at his expense, but he is my brother, and he's one of probably the most down to earth fucking Niner fans that you'll probably hear. He wasn't making any excuses for himself. He wasn't fucking saying like, "Oh no, we got robbed," which I know for a fact other people were saying.
We're gonna get to that.
Okay. He wasn't saying, he wasn't making any excuses. He was saying like the better team won. And I respect that. Because there's not a whole lot of Niner fans that I know do that.
No.
There's a lot of Niner fans that talk a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Get real quiet and disappear when shit goes wrong and they don't want to explain themselves anymore.
Yeah.
So I respect that. And like I said, give big ups to my brother because he is my brother from another mother. And I appreciate the invite, man, and giving me a story to tell on the show.
And the steak.
And the steak. The steak was fucking delicious, by the way. He cooked it perfectly.
Well, it's important to get that insider information, man.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, it's one thing being out like in just some random area, like, but like just everybody's like just like not even like their team is in there, but when you're like in that area where like all those people are like that and you just got to see that disappointing faces, it reminded me of the last time they were in there, and I got to see a lot of disappointed faces. And like you said, it's
I was there for that too, man. I saw that too. And I was the one saying like the Ravens gonna beat your asses, and everybody that I knew at that point that were Niner fans, they were like, oh yeah, okay, sure, sure, the Ravens gonna beat us.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, watch what happens.
Was there any difference from that last time and this time that you saw it?
I mean, different people. I probably was a little bit more. I was probably a little bit more happy that the Niners lost the last time.
Yeah.
Because of the people that I was around.
Same. I had hosted a party. I hosted a party that year. I hosted a party that year here with my girlfriend at the time, who was a Niner fan, and all of her friends were obnoxious. They're all Niner fans, and I'm sitting there. I was the one like real football fan in the house, and the rest were Niner fans.
Yeah.
And, the power goes out at halftime. I was like,
this is the one real football fan, and the rest were Niner fans.
I was like, ooh. The power went down, and, and seeing it happen. So, on the flip side, this year, our good friend, Polygon, those of you that listen to the Crow's Nest podcast, he's on that. He's a Niner fan. And I wasn't with him on game day or during the game. I saw him after the game when I got back home. Bobby and I are going to talk about our experience, which is mostly about the food. He was in absolute denial at the loss, and was kind of picking my brain the 2 weeks leading up to the game because he knows I know the Chiefs. We play them twice a year, so obviously I'm seeing a lot of Chiefs football. I tend to watch several of the games and try to watch 3 or 4 Chiefs games outside of ours just because I do the same thing with the Broncos and the Chargers.
You want to do your homework, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll watch their condensed games and see how they're doing, what's going on. I told him, I said, the keys of the game are more complicated than you think. You're talking about we just have to stop Mahomes. Number one, you're not going to do that. Not for 4 quarters, not for 60 minutes. You're not going to stop him. That is not an easy task. And you're telling me the Chiefs' run defense sucks. Well, where's Travis Henry right now? is what I told him. He's sitting at home now. Derrick Henry, sorry. He's sitting at home right now. They shut him down in the second half. How they did it, I don't know. I watched that game. Hats to the ball. They just smothered that dude. So I was like, they can shut down a run game. I reminded him, in the last 6 weeks of the regular season, the Chiefs' defense was number 1. Yeah. That defense woke up in the second half of the season. They like to take the ball away. They are an opportunistic defense. And I said, so it's more than that. You're going to have to overcome that defense. Jones and Clark are out there wreaking havoc on quarterbacks. Yep. They may not get to your quarterback every play, but third down, you better watch out. When it counts, they show up. And I hate to say that being a Raiders fan, but they were showing out this year. They did their damn job. Clark was under a lot of pressure to start the season, a lot of criticism. And then later in the season, again, that defense woke up. And I said, not only that, look at their offensive weapons. All they have to do to stop you guys, evade the pass rush, which Mahomes can do. You're not going to get to him all the time. You can chase him, and now you're really in trouble. Yep. You flush them out. And it ain't like flushing out a Tannehill or somebody like that, right? And furthermore, I told them they're going to look to stop your run game, which they can do. I know you don't want to admit it, but they can do that. And they're going to put the ball in Jimmy G's hands. And I've had lengthy conversations about Jimmy G with our friend Paulie. Yep. And we're on the same page there. Because while Jimmy's a gamer, he puts 2 to 3 balls in the defender's hands every single game. They're not always picked. And he's right. Jimmy G, when he throws picks, they generally don't hurt the team. He threw one at the end of the Super Bowl that put the nail in the coffin. They were pretty much out of it at that point. But Jimmy G did what Jimmy G does. And then he started complaining about the calls. Yeah. Okay, the George Kittle OPI was OPI.
It was OPI.
Yep.
He got away with one shove. When he went back for the second one, extended the arm. It was clear as day OPI. Complaining about the PI that Kelsey draws in the end zone. Clearly a pass interference. Now decides, I don't like pass interference in the NFL. I think this is a terrible penalty.
Horrible rule.
It's a horrible rule. What I saw in that play was just good defense. And I said, you know what? They both have a right to the ball, but if you're not playing the ball, then you don't have a right to the ball.
Exactly.
Travis Kelce's hand touches the ball. Yeah. In the restaurant we were at, the owner, she was like, Kelce had his hand around him. He's trying to get to the ball.
She was making up rules left and right.
She was. They didn't call holding all game. They got away with holding all game. I said, Paul, they didn't call holding on either team. Yeah. Are you telling me that you guys did not hold Clark or Jones all game for 4 quarters?
Right. There was a lot of times when you noticed that jersey getting pulled, man.
It was.
Yeah.
But I liked the officiating in this game. They let the game happen.
Absolutely.
The Niners got away with a false start. Did not get called. Yeah. Joe Buck called it out. Shout out to Joe Buck. Actually did a pretty damn good job on this broadcast. Actually, he's gotten a lot better. So and he's always a conspiracy. They wanted to give this to the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes is the new face of the NFL. They're trying to cement his legacy. And I'm like, bro, you guys just didn't have it, bro. Nah. A 10-point lead, and you're going to go away from your game plan.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, dog.
Yep.
You guys didn't do any of the things you said you were going to do.
Yep.
Except for sacking Mahomes 4 times and picking him off twice. And that still wasn't good enough.
Nope.
So as a Raiders fan, as much as I hate to say it, the Chiefs deserve this win over you guys. Yeah. They stayed with it. You guys, when Williams scored that touchdown, when KC went to the hurry-up offense in the second half.
That was key right there.
Your defense was gassed.
Yep.
Your defense had given up.
Yep.
That Williams touchdown, that was bad D. Yep. Nobody touched that dude.
Yep. Nope.
Solo, bro.
Free.
It was light work for Williams on that score. So y'all gave up. Your fan base gave up. I walked into work on Monday.
Yo, wait. Hold on. Speaking about fucking fan base, let's go back real quick. Because there was talk about the ratings via fucking the networks for every area.
Okay.
And who came in at the top. Without question, KC fans from KC were the number 1 viewers of the Super Bowl, right? And fucking San Francisco, Santa Clara wasn't even in the top 10.
Well, their fan base doesn't even travel.
That's what I'm saying.
They don't even travel 15 minutes to go to their games, dog.
Yeah, man. So, I mean, that just goes to show you. Like, I know a lot of people like to say Raider fans are salty, blah, 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 blah. Oh, you guys are jealous, and that's why you guys talk about. No, motherfuckers, we show out for our team.
Yeah.
We travel with our team.
Yeah.
We sell out stadiums regardless of their fucking record. Okay?
There's a reason why.
Y'all motherfuckers don't. Those are just facts. When we kick that shit to you guys, it's fucking real. Mm-hmm. You guys can fucking argue whatever. You can make whatever point. Oh, yeah, it's just because we have more Super Bowls than you, blah, blah, blah. Whatever you guys want to say. The fact is a fact. Unless you guys were winning this season, that stadium would still be fucking empty.
When we say lose or tie, Raider Nation till I die, we mean it.
Absolutely.
And like you said, it don't matter what day it is, what it's looking like. If it's hailing outside, we always show up.
Yep.
We always there.
So, and they weren't selling out their stadium this year until like week 12.
There you go.
You know,
they were selling out of fucking what was it? Funnel cakes and shit. That's what they were selling out of, bro.
And our good friend went to his first game at Levi Stadium this year only. This year. Yeah. You know, most Niner fans I talk to go to one game a year at best. Mm-hmm. You know, the last Niner game Paulie went to, I was with him. It was in Candlestick Park, and they were playing the Redskins, and that place got loud when the Redskins scored. I'm just saying. And, you know, because I had that conversation with them a couple months ago. I was like, your fan base has your reputation, and there's a good reason why. You can fight it all you want, but it's there, and it sticks, and we're not the only ones saying it anymore. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are talking about it. You guys got called out after this game. Your fan base got called out. I walked into work on Monday, ready for the Monday meeting. Everybody's assembled. Meeting hasn't started yet. They're arguing over who had the better performance, J-Lo or Shakira. And I was like, well, Shakira had a better performance than the 49ers. And I shut that conversation down. Attendance was at an all-time low at school the next day. Man, y'all just can't lose.
Yep.
And you can't win either.
Yeah.
So you're fucked. Either way, like Riley Reid. You're getting it every which way but loose. Maybe loose.
Oh, so, man.
But it goes to show you is that a lot of these quote-unquote fans were misinformed. A lot of them aren't doing what people like us, like real fans, are doing is, you know, watching the other teams, the other people within the divisions, just other games as well, paying attention.
Yeah, no.
Not a lot of people pay attention to that, and they expect, like, oh, yeah, look, they're on the roll, they're killing it, this and that. Look at the teams that you were playing. Look at the division that you were playing. Mm-hmm. I mean, come on, man. There really wasn't a whole lot for you guys. Yes, at the end, it did get a little bit harder for you guys, but, I mean, as to how many times did we not talk about this, about what was it? Mahomes being like a Curry coming through like in the end when they're like down and all of a sudden boom, 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 scoring like
Mahomes is the Steph Curry of the NFL. That is true. Sucks to say it, but he is. He is. He's frustrating as a Raider fan. He frustrates the hell out of me.
Hell yeah.
I hate the Chiefs, but the players I hate on that team are like Kelsey,
douchebags,
Tyreek Hill,
fucking douchebags.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Well deserved.
So in advance of next season, 49er fan, I'm going to ask you politely, do not come up to me and ask me to explain your team to you. All right? You should be doing that yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hate that. You know, and they don't like what I have to say. So, you know, oh, you're just a hater. I was like, nah, y'all have concerns in the second, this and that. And, you know, they don't want to hear it. But, you know, so Bobby and I and Rob traveled out to Hayward for the Super Bowl.
There you go.
This is a tradition for you two.
Yep.
Shout out to Carmen's Barbecue in Hayward, run by a feisty Jamaican lady who showed much love. She gave me a hug when I walked in.
That's what's up.
Right away. A lot of times, like when you meet someone your friends know, they get the hugs and you get the dap. I got the hug too. She's very friendly, very cool.
That's what's up.
Didn't expect her to be a Niner fan out there in Hayward, but she was. But very cool. She's very cool. It was all you can eat. We paid what, like $60?
Yep.
All you can eat, all you can drink. They had the rum punch on the low.
They had that in the red cup, so you know you weren't supposed to say anything. It was just saw that, bro.
Yeah.
We started off with some delicious oxtail.
Oh man, dude, the beans and rice, bro. Just the beans and rice alone was Bombay.
The red beans and rice were the best I've ever had.
And they had like coconut cream or something.
Yeah, it was made with coconut cream. When, you know, we put that oxtail juice over the top of it. Like, who's got it better than you, dog?
That sounds delicious.
Nobody.
Delicious.
And that's a Joey Diaz thing. That's not a 49er thing. So before you get my comments, we start off with that. The brisket, I thought, was no good. But this I'm not going to blame them. A lot of California barbecue spots will advertise brisket. They will serve you tri-tip. It's completely different. So we made an error there, but we corrected it. We went on. We had the champagne chicken.
Oh yeah,
that was fire,
dude.
That was fire
with those garlic mashed potatoes as well, man.
Ooh.
Off the chain.
Like if you're gonna go ahead and drop $60 to all you can eat, this is definitely a spot worth it.
Oh, dude. And it wasn't buffet style. It was anything you want on the menu. You tell us what you want, we'll bring it to your table. And so it was like everything, sides, desserts. Don't even get me started on the dessert. Drinks, they were serving me. I wasn't drinking, so they were bringing me the Diet Cokes. I was in that. I was wired for sound, bro, by the time I walked out of there. So we moved on to the beef hot links after that, which were fire. Bobby ordered the hot barbecue sauce.
Okay.
And that was the last time he ordered the hot barbecue sauce.
Yeah, it had a, if I had to let the damn tongue, mellow out a little bit, man.
There you go.
Dude, it was fire, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I did not expect it to be
fuck around
like
with
that.
their spice, bro.
Nah.
Jamaicans
No.
don't fuck
Well,
around
see,
with
that's
their
the thing
spice.
too, man. It's not just like your traditional like barbecue, like barbecue. It's like barbecue with like a little like Jamaican twist at it.
Yeah.
And you know how you just said, man, Jamaicans are spicy as hell, man. So if it's spice with the barbecue, damn, dude, perfect.
Had a real fruit component. Almost tasted like Dr. Pepper in the sauce, which is something I do. But there was definitely some kind of plum or tamarind or something in that barbecue sauce. It was real fire. What else did we have while we were over there? The hot links. We had the oxtail. We had
the ribs.
The ribs.
Yeah,
those are fire too,
dude. That's my go-to every time, man. I look at the menu all the time, and I always just end up going back to the ribs, man.
And then for dessert, we went around the horn. I had the peach cobbler.
At the blueberry cobbler.
The blueberry cobbler, which I've never tried a blueberry cobbler. And they had a caramel apple cobbler, which we didn't try. And then the banana pudding. And I was like, I'm not going to get the banana pudding because they don't put the Nilla wafers in it. They put the Nilla wafers in that bitch.
Hell yeah.
I will say this, and I'm sorry, Granny, the peach cobbler was the best peach cobbler I've ever had in my life. Not even close. Not even close. But out of respect for my granny, I did not eat the banana pudding because nobody will unseat her banana pudding. I make that same banana pudding.
Hey, yeah. I'm not going to lie, man. Her banana pudding was good, man.
Now shut the fuck up, dog. You're in my house, man.
I've never had banana pudding. That's why.
Okay.
So to me, that was like the best ever in my
Well,
world.
you still ain't had banana pudding. She was selling banana pudding. I make banana pudding. A big difference.
It's pudding.
And I've devised a method to double the amount of Nilla wafers in the pudding.
Oh.
I'm not going to divulge my secrets, okay? Because you got to deal with displacement and volume and all that, and it's very scientific. It's very scientific.
This ain't no Martha Stewart up in here, dog.
You need a graduated cylinder?
Yeah. I need an Earl Meyer flask. And an Earl Campbell flask to get me through the cooking process, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And to top it all off,
yeah.
she sent us home with to-go containers. Rob walked off with nearly half the damn restaurant.
Well, he used the excuse that he was getting stuff for his dad.
Yeah, oh yeah. And he should.
It's a good excuse.
Rob's been going there since
Not lunch for the rest of the week.
Right?
Rob's been going there since he was 7 years old. So
That's what's up.
We were
That's
treated.
what's up.
We were treated very well.
So he got mad hooked up for
That's
damn
what's
sure,
up.
dude.
That's what's up. That's dope.
Now, there were Niner fans in the building.
Were they?
Small restaurant. We were in a booth in the back playing it real low key, real low. And
Were
then-
you guys rated out though?
Oh yeah,
Of course.
Hell yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
for sure, for
Showing
sure.
up with the jersey and everything,
Good.
man.
Yeah.
Good.
Shit.
Good.
Shit.
Yo, real quick, I walked into the fucking ale house out in my hometown to grab brews before I went to the fucking Super Bowl party. And everybody in there was wearing their fucking Niners NFC champion fucking hats and T-shirts and shit like that they just got last week, right?
Yeah.
They ordered that shit as soon as they won. And I walked in my Raider gear and everyone just kind of fucking stared at me and stayed real quiet. It's like they watched me walk up to the counter. They're like, this motherfucker's really up in here just like this.
You shocked the hell
I
out of
looked
them,
at him,
bro.
I was like,
Che taking a shit with the door open. Real comfortable. Real comfortable.
How
dog.
you doing? How you doing? Walked straight up to the counter. I was like, hey, man, I'm here to grab some beers for this fucking Super Bowl party I'm about to go to. I'm like, shit. Yeah.
You know, that's the other thing about
Don't even
Niner
question
fan.
me.
Ask me why, because the Niners and Raiders rarely play at the same time, right? Because of the TV market and all that.
Right.
So when the Raiders aren't playing, I'll be at the store picking up some sundries, if you will. Why is it during your game, all y'all motherfuckers are at the grocery store wearing your gear? Shouldn't you be watching the game?
This is true.
Shouldn't you be at the game?
This is true.
I'm surprised I'm not taking selfies at the grocery store. At grocery store, LOL. Boom.
Home games, man. At 1 o'clock in the afternoon, they're at fucking Safeway
Where you at right now?
buying fucking chips,
What are you doing?
getting lottery tickets.
Taking pictures in front of the Coca-Cola display, dog.
Getting cheese and some wine. Some saltines. Crackers.
Oh, man.
Running that little fake football field they got in the snack section, pretending to be fucking Vernon Davis or some shit. Yo, hang it up, dog. Vernon Davis did.
Trying to remember if they still got milk at home.
Retire your fanship.
Falta leche? Sí, falta leche.
Llámale.
So there were Niner fans there. They did a raffle. They gave away several things. Some fine gentleman got a nice bath and spa set.
Who was a Niner fan?
It was funny too because a Niner fan. She comes to our table. She's all, "Which gift should I give away next?" I was like, "That bath kit right there, that pink basket right there. I want you to give that away next." She pulls the ticket. Some dude gets it. I was like, "Yup, yeah."
That's an Niner
Enjoy
fan.
that.
Enjoy that.
Enjoy that shit.
From me to you, dog. Hey, they gave away a nice 40-inch TV.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was funny because after Jimmy G threw that last pick, dude just scooped up the TV, walked right out the door.
Yeah, he did.
He
Yeah,
was
he
like,
did.
"I'm done, dude."
Yeah, he did.
That whole table packed their shit in.
But what was funny is that like that front part of it, it was like, you know, it was like a small table, but it was Niner fans, but it was just, you know, us in the back and Rob, and then next to us there was this gentleman and a lady,
All camoed out.
just you know, like just whatever, just, you know, mellow, like not even making noise, like just, you know, I'm enjoying the game, quiet, eating some food, whatever, chatting it up a little bit, this and that. But as the guy was leaving, you know, we were just talking about the game, and he was like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "I'm a Kansas fan." He's like, "Yeah," he's like, "I just sat back here."
Kansas, man?
He's like,
Okay, Donald Trump.
The great state of Kansas.
he's like, "I'm just sitting back here, you know, just staying quiet, just watching the game, man."
Bro is camoed out, bro. They don't want anybody to see him, dog.
Dude,
Camoed out.
you never would have known.
Was he wearing fucking wood panel fucking camo?
Looking like
Looking like a fucking table?
Looking like
Was he wearing bamboo camo? Or what?
He was just quiet the whole time, man. He kind of scared me. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, who is this weird guy? Dude, he's just all quiet.
wearing naga hide camo, trying to blend into that booth. Looking like, I can't say it. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. Yeah, he was cool though. He left, you know. Of course, we were the last ones there.
Yeah,
Because
because we got the food afterwards, man. That's why.
yeah, that's right.
So shout out to Carmen's Family Barbecue in
That's
Hayward.
what's up. That's what's up.
So if y'all
Hey.
ever want some good barbecue,
Never leave early.
Real quick over here. The chat wants to know a salsa update.
Oh, yeah. Chase been smacking. I want some more of that queso.
Actually, I've been eating a lot of these chicharrones by themselves.
Okay.
Just because I don't know. I don't want to push the limits, bro. I don't want to push the limits. Just being real.
push it to the limits. Limits. You should
know?
just do it, bro.
You know.
Just, you know.
Your boy. He didn't fuck around with that one.
Dip
Y'all
it,
saw that scoop.
Dip it deep.
Dude, I'm digging this green salsa one, man. I'm really liking it because like enough of it and like it starts to tingle like in the back, dude.
Goes up.
Dude, straight up.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So-
I'll go with the salsa again.
Super Bowl 54. It's a wrap. Those of you that live in the Bay Area, you're loving it. I don't care what you say about the Chiefs or the Niners. You're loving it right now. For the rest of y'all, I'm sorry, dog. Gent, I'm sorry, dog.
Yeah, man.
Gent called me.
Oh man.
He's like, I know y'all loving it out there right now in the Bay, but these motherfuckers are shooting guns off in their backyard. Jen lives out there in Kansas City, Missouri. Or actually, yeah, he lives out there in Kansas City. So
So it's not Kansas?
Kansas City actually crosses over the state line, I believe. Kansas City, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri. But Arrowhead resides in Missouri. If I'm getting that right. If not, I don't know. Trump will find me. I don't give a shit. I don't live out there. I'm not supposed to know these things.
This ain't geology class or
Yeah.
whatever it's called.
You know what I mean? My delegates don't live out there, dog. My constituency is not there. Okay.
Is you is or is you ain't? My constituents.
Constituents.
Oh, man.
So that's it. It's a wrap. Super Bowl 54 is done.
Yep.
Super Bowl 55. Let's go.
Yeah.
Next. The XFL. Did you watch it or not? I know I watched it. I try to watch as many games as possible. I'm all for alternative football. I'm all for year-round football. And I was excited about this. I've been following and tracking the XFL since they announced it. I love the rule changes. I wanted to see how it showed up, what the product was like, what was the broadcast like. Yo, shout out to Kurt Menefee holding it down. You did a hell of a job, dog. You brought some legitimacy to the broadcast. It sounded really good. The first game, we had the Seattle Dragons versus the DC Defenders. The DC Defenders were out there putting hits out, dog.
Defense was looking good, man.
Looking real solid. In the second game yesterday, you had the LA Wildcats and the Houston Roughnecks. The Roughnecks just ran a rough shot all over LA in that second half. LA could not get their shit together. Connor Cook was benched earlier this week in favor of Knopf. Knopf, was that his name?
Yeah.
Looking real overwhelmed. Communication went out in the helmets. Dude was panicking. He had teammates yelling at him. He was like, guys, I'm trying to do the best that I can. It was not working for him.
It was like, dude, straight out, it was like, what was it? The Last Chance You.
Yeah,
that's what it was sounding like, bro. It was like Last Chance You, like live, bro.
Bro was trying to like explain himself. People were turning their backs and walking away. I was like, bro, this kid is hurting right now. Yo. Connor Cook.
Hey, real quick though, shout out to Elijah Hood.
Shout out
to Elijah Hood. I liked what I saw from him. Hurdled the motherfucker on the sidelines. He was doing his thing.
And before you say anything, it wasn't that great. Look, the running game in the XFL is dog shit right now. It is really hard to find offensive linemen in the NFL. Imagine what's left over for the XFL. So the run game's going to take a minute in the XFL, but Elijah was doing his damn thing.
I saw LA had a bootleg Robert Gallery out there.
Yeah.
You saw
Robert Art Show, I think is his name. Did you see what was his name? That was on the sideline. Was it Brock Heward? No, who was it on the sideline when Elijah Hood made that hurdle?
He's all.
Yeah, he was like, ooh.
Oh yeah.
They showed him like 3 times in slow motion.
We had an F-bomb dropped on the sideline.
That was
on a
awesome.
Live broadcast. That was dope.
Fire.
Fire.
We need more mics up. We need more mics.
The New York Guardians defense rolled the Vipers, coached by Jerry Glanville. I wonder if he's still leaving tickets for Elvis at the gate.
Or for fucking the ticket booth fucking runners' cousins.
He's always, hey, this motherfucker leaving tickets for a dead man.
Just say your name is Elvis.
Hey, yo,
Pull
this
up.
dumb fuck left tickets for Elvis again, dog. Come get these bitches real quick.
Pull up, dog.
They're in the front row, dog. The front row of the end zone, dog. Come get these fucking tickets.
You still got your bell bottoms, right?
Hey, grow them chops out right now.
Hey, you might not be Elvis Presley, but you could be Elvish Presley. You know what I mean? The right amount of sideburn, you could be Elvish.
That's right.
And then today we had the New York Guardians defense rolled the Vipers, like I said, and the St. Louis Battlehawks, which is that's a weird name. LA Wildcats, a weird name. And the Dallas Renegades. They didn't watch that game too closely. Who won that game? Was the Battlehawks won that game?
I think it was the Battlehawks ended up winning it. But on that Guardians, did you notice who the QB was? It was M. McGloin.
Oh yeah, Matt McGloin.
Oh.
I was like, nah, this ain't
starting quarterback, huh?
This ain't our Matt McGloin, is it? Like the one we used to have. And I just kept looking, and because I said it was M, and I was like, there's only so many McGloins, and I was like, is it? And they showed him, and I was like, yep, I know that guy.
Saw that ginger soul patch, and it was a wrap. Elijah Hood was out. Coney Ely, former Raider for a short period of time, but Coney Ely was wreaking havoc. He looks like to be a standout defender in the XFL. So overall, I think the product was good. It's not NFL talent. It's definitely better than the AAF. The viewership, like I said earlier, 3.3 million for the first game. Prior to kickoff, the XFL sold more tickets than the AAF did in its entire short-lived existence. So for this season, the XFL looks like it's poised to do something well. So much like the AAF, their viewership spiked that first week. Let's see if it holds on. This is definitely a refined product from the last iteration of the XFL, which was fun. I like the new innovations. The punt rule is cool. You got to punt it past the 35, and there's no touchbacks allowed.
Kickoff rule.
Yeah, what do you guys think about the kickoff rule?
I thought it was cool, man. It was almost more like a play from scrimmage.
I like it too.
Yeah,
I like it too. Like you're obviously, I get what they're doing. They're trying to keep from the big fucking hits, right? Guy running free and just destroying a fucking returner, which can lead to fucking serious injuries. But I mean, on the other hand, you have your fucking your blocking men up on the line, and you have your guys that are out there trying to make the fucking tackle all up on the line, and the best man gets the best of each other, right? Yep. Whoever's better is actually going to get the better of the other guy and make a fucking play on somebody.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you actually get to see who's really talented, right? Because anyone can kind of fucking come from 15 yards out and run and just kind of make a move and dodge a guy and get there, right? But now you got to really fucking work your way past this guy, get through the block in order to make a play. I like it.
Yeah, it was good. It was definitely good. And then what else? Oh, one thing that you probably could have kept. One thing I felt like could have held over because there's really no safety, requirements or anything was the strippers as cheerleaders. I really think that was lacking this weekend. Would have liked to seen some fishnet on the sideline, but hey,
Vince McMahon wasn't on that right now.
Nah, they cooled off on that. But hey, there's always next season, right? There's always next season. There's always room for improvement. Is what I like to say.
Where's the comment box? That's all I gotta say.
And maybe we can get a poll on the sideline to go with. I'm just saying, dog. I'm just saying. Halftime show should be fire. Right?
Yeah.
So, bring it back. Bring it back. I mean, J-Lo rubbed her pussy at the Super Bowl, and Janet Jackson's just with her tit hanging out. Like, really? Is it really? Yeah? That's cool now?
Apparently.
Yeah.
Apparently, man.
FCC ran Howard Stern off terrestrial radio because of that titty. Seriously.
Yeah,
you can trace it back, and
apparently, if you have a poll, it's Olympic, dog. Remember, it's an Olympic sport.
Oh, there you go.
Or it's on its way to becoming an Olympic sport.
So if J-Lo could rub one out with fireworks in the background, hey, give me a stripper on the sideline. That's all I'm saying. Let me get some gold lame, some silver lame on the sideline. Let me get some thigh highs.
Oh man,
the room for improvement.
Yeah,
in every league.
I got singles.
Yeah.
Oh man, craft singles,
but pretty good, man. Pretty good. And the DC Defenders, they showed out. Their fan base showed out. It was pretty loud for that first kickoff. Bobby, you had mentioned that first game with a lot more excitement than we saw in this last game. But again, it's DC versus New York. New York, there's a ton of things to do. DC, it's a small town. Yeah, it's Virginia, but they're not competing with as much entertainment value as like in LA or New York or one of these metro places. So DC fans, they showed out. They were there. I mean, who are they going to root for, bro? The Redskins? Come on now.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good point.
They were excited, dog.
Yeah, the DC Crimson Tide.
Yeah,
because that's what they look like. They look like Alabama, dude. Straight up.
They did. The uniforms are cool. You had the bootleg Titans today, the Renegades. Yeah, all that. The Renegades logo is cool. Actually shaped like the state of Texas too. Actually pretty cool logo. And different. What I liked about the look of it is the logos in the NFL are all very one note now. Save for the logos that have not changed. Right. The Raiders, the Colts, the 49ers, the Chiefs. But all of them got that tapered back end look. Yeah. It's the same designer. When the Ravens came out with their new logo, everybody flipped to that logo.
The Ravens and Carolina,
the Patriots,
and Jacksonville.
Right?
When all those teams came out, right?
Even the Rams,
they got that little fucking tapered off fucking end to their fucking mascot logo. Fucking
the flaming thumbtacks.
There you go.
Yeah. The flying Elvises.
The flying Elvises.
So if you haven't checked out the XFL, give it a shot next weekend. They do have games on Saturdays and Sundays, which is also really nice. So it's spread out. So if you can catch one game, do it. I wonder if they'll replay a game. ESPN had the broadcast, so pretty cool. I watched one of them on the ESPN site. It was streaming for free. I was waiting. My car's getting some work done. So
there you go.
Yeah, it was cool. I liked it, man.
It's definitely, they researched their stuff a lot better than it was last time. It's now no gimmick. It's not like the Undertaker's running out there to hit the zebra with a chair or some shit. Like you actually get to hear. Like one of the coolest things I liked is that you actually get to hear the zebras talking about the thing that they're actually reviewing.
Right. Yeah.
So it's no longer like, oh, well, are they actually even paying attention, or is it all just BS or whatever? Yeah. You actually get to hear them talking up to the booth and all that. Like, all right, cool.
They have a camera in the replay booth, which was kind of cool. So that dude was sweating, pro. He was trying to pull up the right clip. He was nervous, but
so wait. Real quick, before they put the camera on me, how do you do this again?
And there was a big hit in that LA game yesterday that in the NFL probably gets flagged.
Oh, yeah.
But they talked it out, and it was a no flag, and it was a good hit. The dude got obliterated.
Yeah.
There was helmet-to-helmet contact, but not lead with the crown. The helmet contact was incidental, so they waved it off.
The face.
They waved it off. That guy got his fucking teeth rearranged on. Yo. So definitely check out the XFL. And then the IFL will be starting the Indoor Football League. I only mentioned that because the Oakland has the Oakland Panthers now. We got a team in Oakland that'll be playing at Oracle Arena. Season tickets are on sale. You get 7 games for $120 and a parking pass for $100. If you want to get back out to the Oakland Coliseum parking lot and tailgate, I think the Pillaging crew should probably make at least one appearance this year.
That would be good.
I know one of our listeners, Dapper Dan, he copped some season tickets. He'll be sitting down there.
There you go.
In the end zone. He's
up.
Former Black Hole member, so he'll be out there for the Panthers games.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
I'm down, man. I'm down to go do that. I mean, anything to relive some Oakland tailgate moments, bro.
That'd be cool.
How early are they opening the gates?
I don't know. That's a good question. That's good. We need to force the issue, I think. Get there early.
We're going to be out there with the only fucking van out there at fucking 6 o'clock in the morning.
But that's a 14-game season, so they'll get 7 at home. And I believe they're Saturday evening, so I think they're evening games, so I got to double-check that. But we should definitely get out there. I think single-game tickets are as low as like $15. So
that's what's up.
We need to make that happen. That'd be cool. That'd be hella cool. All right, one little thing, one minor thing. Why don't you hit that transition, Che?
Yep.
We got an injury update for y'all. Jonathan Abram is 90% healed and rolling with the squad out there in Vegas.
Hey, well, when in Vegas, right?
When in Rome.
Baddies. He just was out there with the baddies, and they did not let him live his life, bro, comfortably. They were all over him with the fucking cameras, asking him all kinds of questions.
Hey, for all we know, those were physical therapists, all right, guys? So, cool it, everybody.
Fucking up my boy's game, bro. Hey, let him be.
Good call, Bobby.
Let
Good
him
call.
live his life.
Nice cover.
I'm just saying because
we've all physical therapists.
We've all been out with our physical therapists before. So.
Bobby playing deep safety right there, saying, "Jonathan, I got your back, dog."
Yeah,
got you, bro.
Yeah, fuck that guy for putting that camera in your face, dog.
So we're gonna take a short break right now. When we come back, we'll be ranking the big nasties on offense for the Raiders' greatest of all time, their greatest Raider of all time, the GROAT.
Yeah,
as we'll be calling it. So I'm Kenny Stapler.
Joined as always by your boy Che
and Bobby Wasabi.
We out.
Right.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah. Shout out to Death Dealers Anonymous from San Jose. Me and Paulie just wrapped a remix for them, so we'll be releasing that shortly.
That's what's up.
We'll slide it in here on the show. We'll put it in as the outro for one night. Shout out to Toby, too, Silver and Black 666, who is the singer on our outro song. Got to spend some time with him last weekend as well. Went out with my lady and him and his lady. Went to a Brazilian steakhouse, got a grub on. That was good stuff.
That's what's up.
That was good stuff.
That's what's up.
We walked into that fancy spot in our Raiders gear, as we always do. Yeah, they take care of you out there.
You mean Toby didn't walk in his fucking tie-dye T-shirt?
No.
Toby likes to rock that tie-dye T-shirt.
He does. He always wearing the same raggedy ass Raider shirt. And I bought him a brand new Raider shirt, but I have that raggedy Raider shirt too. It's a go to. Hey man, shirts are comfortable, bro.
Hey.
Sometimes it's hard to retire them. But Toby's a great dude. I had a great time with him. Him and his lady always very accommodating, very, very great host. And it was good. It was good to catch up with him. It had been months since I'd hung out with him, but man, time flies. Life comes at you fast. So we're going to be breaking down these big nasties on offense. What we did, and we're going to get Kane on here in a second, hopefully. We have 64 Raider greats. 145 submissions came in. We eliminated all the duplicates. We ended up with like 45 unduplicated. And then Bobby and myself sat here this afternoon and filled out the rest because there were some names that were overseen. Not all of them are going to be the greatest Raider of all time candidates, but they deserve to be on this list and deserve to be voted on by you guys. So the way we broke these down, and in the categories, they're loose and fast. We broke it down into the 4 brackets of 16 names each. And we have the offensive big nasties. I'm talking about offensive linemen, fullbacks, whatnot. We got our offensive skill players. Talking about quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, and things like that. You got your defensive big nasties, defensive linemen, defensive ends. We even got some linebackers in there. And you got your defensive playmakers, your corners, your safeties, and what have you. And in addition to those names, we got broadcaster Bill King in that mix. Sorry, Greg Papa, you're not on this list. We got Al Davis on there. We got Amy Trask on there. We got Ron Wolf in the mix. John Madden, John Gruden made the list. So there's a lot of non-player names in here too. And also obviously you got special teamers like Ray Guy, Shane Leckler, Sebastian Janikowski. And they got kind of moved into the defensive playmaker list because we didn't have 16 to fill that out, believe it or not. So you'll see that these categories are there, but they're not gospel. There are some names that you might be thinking, well, why are they in that group? Because we had to fill out the group. So we got 64 names in this bracket, and over the next 4 weeks or 4 episodes or so, we're going to be ranking these names so we can set the bracket. Once the brackets are set, we're going to pick, this is going to go on until August. It's going to go all off season. So it'll be a segment on our show. The GROAT bracket segment was going to be ongoing. So every week we're going to take a few of these matchups. We will tweet them out. We will have you guys vote on them. I will also post a survey over on pj4f.com for all of you pillagers over there. And you guys can all vote on it. And we're going to have you guys decide who goes on to the next round in these brackets. It's not going to be decided by us, but we will be talking about the decisions that are made and making a case for players that maybe didn't go forward. And if it's a tie, for any of these in a tie, we'll break the tie for y'all. So hopefully I explained that clear enough. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah, man.
Right? So
sounds good.
Yep.
This week we're going to be doing the offensive big nasties. Names on that list. Should I just read them off right now?
Sure.
All right. So we got Art Shell, Barrett Robbins, Dave Casper is in there. I know skill player, but he's a tight end, so we moved him over here to fill out this side. We got Dave Dalby, that's right, former center Dave Dalby, Donald Penn, Gene Umshaw, Henry Lawrence, participated in every Raiders Super Bowl victory, Jim Otto, who's definitely got to be a favorite to win this whole thing. John Madden is in there, John Gruden is in there, John Ritchie is in there. We got 3 Johns in a row. Didn't mean to do that on purpose. It's sorted alphabetically. That makes sense. Lincoln Kennedy, Mo Collins, Rodney Hudson, Steve Wisniewski, and Zach Crockett. Was a beast at the goal line. You can make an argument that he's a big nasty, just in the way that he ran through people. So those are the 16 names. We got to set these 1 through 16, and then we'll be moving on to the defensive big nasties on the next episode. So first thing we got to do is get our man Kane on the line to help us break this down. So we're going to give him a call. If he's not available, we'll take on the task ourselves. And those of you that are in the chat, feel free to chime in. And as we're discussing this, we will have the caller segment after this. So if you want to call in and give us your thoughts on some of our arguments or debates, or maybe give your own ranking of a couple players here, please feel free to do so. We'll pick that call up when we get into the caller segment. So let's take just another short break while I call up Kane here.
Real quick though, can we? You want to get this Chela in right now or after?
Totally. Blanked
it's
on
all
that.
good. It's all good.
I was
even thinking we could do the second Chela while you got Kane on the line.
No, let's do that right now.
So we got this second Chela that we were giving you a little heads up on during the break. Like I said, courtesy of your boy Bobby Wasabi, who came through with a nice 6-pack of this beautiful beer, and I'm about to crack this.
Can never show up empty-handed.
No, never empty-handed. You never do.
That's a bad look.
You never do,
bro.
brother.
That's a bad
you never
look.
do. And this is that Rogue Brewing Co. This is the out-of-line West Coast India Pale Ale. and it's a 6.9 on the ABV. You see that we were talking about a little penguin with a jetpack. You can see that we weren't fucking around. It really is a penguin with a jetpack. Let me give this a taste real quick. I haven't had this before.
Yeah, I was at the store and I was thinking to myself, I was like, what am I gonna get? And it was funny too because before I took off, I was hanging out with my lady, and I was like, oh yeah, I have to stop by the store and get a 4-pack. And she was like, what the hell's a 4-pack? And I was like, well, it's because microbrews, they're starting to come in a 4-pack. She was like, why are you being cheap? Why don't you get a 6-pack? And I was like, it's not like that, babe. And so I just happened to be in the store just looking around, and I was like, hey, look, a 6-pack.
You're like, this 4-pack costs $27.
Yeah.
It's not cheap at all, and and they're all 16-ounce cans.
Yeah.
And this 6-pack was good to go, and it was a good price. So shout out Travesuras. Thanks for helping me the wallet right there.
Hey, she didn't lead you down the wrong path. I can say that. This is a good beer right here. So on the back of the can, Rogue likes to put this little star. It's basically like a little scale, and it tells you like kind of where it's hitting more, what points it's hitting more. So it's really high on the tropical and citrus notes, and that's definitely there. But there is a little bit of bitterness, not too much. You got 66 IBUs on this, but it's not that harsh. You got a little maltiness. There's definitely some malt there, and then minor pine notes. Not as much as some other IPAs. Yeah, for sure.
It's definitely
this is delicious beer. Rogue just knows what they're fucking doing, and we already know that Rogue likes to have their own ingredients. They grow their own ingredients.
Yeah.
So you already know you're getting top of the line when you get a Rogue beer, man.
Yeah, the hops are
shout out.
The hops are just in the right place. It's not too hoppy, and that's one of my things is that I do appreciate the flavor of the hops, but when they overdo it, sometimes it's not appealing to me. And this is actually pretty damn good. It's smooth.
Yeah. I'm digging it. Thank you, brother. Cheers to you.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Cheers to you for bringing that through.
Salud, man.
We were definitely in need of some beverages up in here because we were eating these fucking chicharrones and I was coughing over here. My throat was all dry. So this beer is coming in handy right now.
So let me ask you the question. I should be asking this question every time. Would you buy it again?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, man, I haven't met too many beers that I wouldn't buy again. I'm just gonna be honest right now.
Yeah.
Okay. There isn't too many beers out there that I wouldn't buy again. There's definitely some though. I'm not gonna lie.
And there's a time and place for every beer too.
There's definitely some that I bought once and I haven't bought again. Okay. Yeah. But this is definitely, you could do this over. You could do a Rogue beer. Come on, man. I haven't had a Rogue beer that I didn't like.
That's true.
That's a fact. So I can always do this again.
Hit him with that transition, and we'll get Kane on the line.
Shit, boy.
Some of y'all didn't like the break music last week, so we've pivoted. Enjoy.
Little funk.
Chill.
All right, so we got a tough task here, guys. Rank them 1 through 16. These names that I just listed out before we went to break there. Where did we start? Did we start at the bottom? Did we start at the top?
I mean, let's just get it going from number 1 down, bro. Let's just get it going from number 1 down.
I think number 1 is a no-brainer. I think in this group, we got to put Jim Otto at number 1. I think we got to put him right there.
I mean,
I'm not going to disagree with that, dog. Yeah, I mean, by all means, Mr. Raider has to be number 1 on this list.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
For the amount of sacrifice he's given.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Shit.
Hell yeah. There's no doubt about that.
We got to get that drug.
We got to. Shout out to The Wire. So number 1, Jim Otto there. Number 2 is going to be a tough call. Do you stay center? Right here, you got Dalby in the mix, who's a Raider great, no doubt. You got a present day Raider on this list. You got Rodney Hudson, who definitely deserves to be at the top of these rankings. You got a guy like Steve Wisniewski, who was a Raider for many years. Loved by the franchise. And you got John Madden, a former offensive line coach who coached his team to a Super Bowl. The first Super Bowl victory.
You know what, man?
Give me a name here, Jay, and we'll talk about it.
Well, honestly, man, I'm kind of leaning towards towards the linemen, bro. And for me, it's like we got to put a lot. We got to give respect where respect's due when it comes to these offensive lines that carried us to championships. So guys like Art Shell and Gene Upshaw, I can't see us not putting them in that upper echelon of this list.
I'd probably side with Gene Upshaw there.
Yeah. So I would say Gene Upshaw number 2, man.
All right, number 2. We're in agreement there. Number 2. So you had Art Shell up there with Gene Upshaw. Is he a likely number 3? Also coached the Raiders, got us into the playoffs. You know, despite what his entire coaching career said, he did get us back to the playoffs in the 90s. Also the first African-American head coach.
Yep.
Correct?
Yep.
Do all these things add up to be ranked 3rd
I would say
this list of greats?
I would say he's definitely in there, but I think if we didn't put John Madden in the top 3, we'd be crazy.
I agree with you. And it looks like Scott in the chat would agree with you as well. Yeah, I don't think Art Shell is a number 3. You got Otto, you got Upshaw. You got to go John Madden right here.
Yeah.
If you disagree, call in 408-909-PJFF, 408-909-7533.
Or light up the chat.
Light up the chat. You know, chat's kind of on a delay right now, so it's always on a delay. So we'll amend this if you make a strong enough case. But make sure when you're putting the name, put the ranking next to it, because again, we're on a delay. You could be saying Upshaw, and we might have been debating the number 2.
And real quick, we are only putting the names that we read off in order. Now we have 4 separate categories of Raiders. So, like your boy Kenny told you, right now we're doing the big bad motherfuckers from the offense. Okay, this consists mostly of offensive lines, some offensive line coach, some coaches, tight end, and a favorite fullback.
Yeah, I'm seeing like Lyle Alzado right now is in the chat. Lyle Alzado will be talked about next episode, so he's in another category. Lyle Alzado played defense, as you already know. So 1, 2, and 3, we got Jim Otto, Gene Upshaw, and John Madden ranked 3rd. Still on the list, you got Art Shell, Barrett Robbins, Dave Casper, Dalby, Donald Penn is in there, Henry Lawrence. Every Super Bowl victory for the Oakland Raiders, LA Raiders, Henry Lawrence was there. John Gruden, John Ritchie, Big Lincoln Kennedy, Mo Collins, Rodney Hudson, Steve Wisniewski, Zach Crockett. For number 4 right here, we're thinking who's in the top 5. Dave Casper has to be in this mix at top 5. Am I wrong?
I mean, he was essential for the Ghost of the Post.
Yeah. I mean, Art Shell's still up there. Art Shell.
Well, you're talking about top 5, but
yeah,
you know, that doesn't necessarily mean that they got to go next.
John Gruden, as much of a personality as he is, he's not top 5. He's never won a Super Bowl for the Raiders.
I don't think he's done enough yet.
No, second 10 years, still a lot of question marks. You know what I mean? Couldn't get us over the hump when he was there. Got us close. Got screwed over.
And I would say this. I would say that that goes along with the offensive line and offensive players that were under his tutelage during that time, right? So we're talking about Lincoln Kennedy, Mo Collins, John Ritchie, Zach Crockett, Steve Wisniewski. All those guys were right underneath Gruden's coaching, and I would say that keeps them out of the top 5 as well.
Interesting.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I got to say this case.
Although Wisniewski, I really like Steve Wisniewski, man.
Yeah,
Wisniewski was definitely one of the best offensive linemen that we've ever had.
Held us down on the edge, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
This queso just showed up at the front door right now. I just gotta say,
ding dong.
This queso is here.
Oh yeah.
Rodney Hudson has been stellar in his time with the Raiders.
Absolutely, but as stellar as he has been, and as much as we love him. For me, Rodney Hudson should be a Pro Bowler, first team All Pro every fucking season.
Yeah.
And I think that if he continues with his career, without any setbacks, injuries, whatnot, there's no reason why this dude wouldn't be a Hall of Fame center, because he just gets it done.
Yeah.
But Up until this point, with our team and the way that our current team is performed, you can't argue that he should be above some of these other guys that have won championships with this franchise.
I got to go Art Shell here at number 4. Yeah. I really do.
I can't disagree.
I really do. He just for too long as a Raider on multiple levels and breaking boundaries in the NFL. I think Art Shell deserves to be in the top 5. Was close to being in that top 3. If John Madden isn't in this category, Art Shell, in my opinion, is number 3.
Yeah.
So you can't talk about great Raiders without mentioning Art Shell.
Yep.
Dave Dalby is another guy that I think deserves consideration up here. Again, another center for the Raiders. Raiders center is a pedigree, man. You include Barrett Robbins. I think Barrett Robbins at the time that he was a Raider was like the 4th Raider center ever, something like that. So these guys played long and they played hard and they gave it their all. So I'm throwing my hat in the ring for Dave Dalby at 5. And that's tough because I'm looking also right above him on this list is Dave Casper, who's not an offensive lineman. Well, technically, I guess you can make that case as a tight end. Was mostly known, not for punishing defensive linemen, but for punishing defensive backfields in other ways. So, Henry Lawrence has the championship pedigree. Is he there at 5? I'm throwing my hat in the ring for Dave Dalby. I think he deserves it. I don't think he gets mentioned enough as a Raider. What do you guys think? I mean, again, I can go through these lists one more time, but who else?
I gotta throw it. I said it a little while ago. I say Casper's got to be in the top 5, so I'm not gonna go away from that.
Okay,
let's go. I'm gonna say Casper
goes to the post, man.
Yeah, Casper's got to go in top 5. If you make one of the top 5 greatest fucking moments in Raider history, then you deserve to be in the top 5.
All right, I'll make a deal with you right now. I'll make a deal with you guys right now. We'll put Casper at 5 if we can put Dalby at 6.
That sounds good.
Because even though Dalby's not a name that newer Raider fans probably recognize, I don't want to see him drop just because of that. Do you know what I mean?
No, I agree.
Well, it's important to know your history, man.
Yeah, right.
So definitely throw him up there.
So let's go Casper at 5. We'll go Dalby at 6. Perry in the chat right now is saying 4 Shell, 5 Dalby, 6 Casper. We flipped that for you, Perry, on the 5 and the 5 and the 6. So hopefully you're cool with that. And again, this is just the rankings. We'll see how this really plays out. These guys are going to get a chance to get voted on by y'all, and we'll see who moves forward. That second round, well, it's going to be a bitch. Because these are names, man. These are names right here. I think every matchup in this bracket, it's going to be tough. I mean, there's going to be some heartbreak in this bracket. So next up, we got see who we got left. We got Barrett Robbins. I think gets consideration for top 10. Donald Penn, maybe not so much. Again, as Che alluded to, with Rodney Hudson, and just like Penn. Bobby, you had mentioned anybody that's willing to pull up in the parking lot, get out the car, and fight a motherfucker deserves this bracket.
I have to respect the motherfucker that could do that, dude. That's not just going to be all like, hey, we're just going to be all cool about it here on the field and just leave it on the field. It's like, nah, dude, if you want to be all wild about it and shit, dude, this cat will meet you at the door, dude.
Hold on real quick, though, because if my offensive lineman was driving his Rolls Royce out the fucking stadium and somebody threw a fucking water bottle at it and he didn't stop his car and get the fuck out the car and threaten his goddamn life, I would have a problem with that.
Okay.
I would have a problem with my offensive lineman not getting out the car and say, like, you better fucking run right now before I squeeze the fucking life out you.
All right.
Okay? If my offensive lineman didn't do that, then I'm questioning why he's my offensive lineman.
So I'm just saying.
If
towards the end of this bracket, it comes down between like Penn and Kennedy.
Yeah.
I see your parking lot threats, and I raise you.
No, hey.
A bad motherfucker that goes into the stands and threatens somebody.
Hold on. Nobody was arguing that Penn needs to be above
I'm not saying
Kennedy.
that. I'm just making
the
a point.
original 72. Okay.
Thank you.
Needs to be.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's no question. Our boy Lincoln's got to be above.
Thank you,
Donald Penn. No disrespect, Donald Penn. I was just saying I would have a problem with my offensive lineman not getting out when somebody threw something at their fucking expensive ass Rolls Royce.
I'm not questioning that. I just wanted a chance to make those comparisons.
And as a matter of fact, that little motherfucker that threw the fucking water bottle at his car, that was acting tough, you knew exactly what you were doing. You knew you couldn't fucking get touched.
That's right.
So I want to see you be that fucking brave and go up to this motherfucking man's doorstep and do that shit when no one's around.
All right, so let's
some of my bitch.
Let's round out this top 10. There's 4 more spots in this top 10. Lincoln Kennedy, I think, gets consideration. Never won a chip, but played really hard for this organization. Still works hard for this organization. Remember, we're considering these people's full body of work, right? Even if you run a car lot. Yeah, how well did you run that car lot, dog?
I mean,
I'm just playing.
Can you sell that used car?
I looked over at these guys and look at me like, are you fucking serious right now? I'm joking, dog.
I'm not going to lie, dude. That sauce is kicking in, bro.
It is, dog.
It really is.
I know, I'm telling you.
It's got that slow release. Slow release.
These fools staring at the colors on the spreadsheet like, damn. Kenny did a hell of a job.
No, I'm over here. I'm dipping back into this queso.
Yeah, you are. That queso is fire, I'm telling you. All right, I would say Steve Wisniewski deserves a spot in this top 10 with the players that are remaining
Absolutely, without question.
Yeah, Steve
without
Wisniewski.
Question.
Can we put him at number 7? Or can we put Henry Lawrence at number 7?
We got to put Henry Lawrence, man. If a man that's a part of 3 Super Bowl teams, how can he not?
Yeah.
All right, so Henry Lawrence at 7. Can we put Wisniewski at 8? Is that a done deal? That looks good right now?
Sounds good.
All right, we're putting that in there at 8. So let's see what the chat has to say. Is there any other consideration?
I got to go Lincoln next, honestly, if you ask me.
Roland Dub says Rodney Hudson could make the top 20. Well, yeah, but there's only 16 here. Let's stay focused, people. 2 Super Bowls for Dalby as a starter. Yep, you're right, Perry. You're right. Robbins, top 10. No way. Dude went AWOL. That is a minus point. That is a good point, Scott. That is a minus point.
But we're talking about a whole collective body of work. Not
but that's a minus point on the body of work.
But it's a huge shot to him. That being said, he was the center that got us to the Super Bowl, so I think that gives him some notches above, say, a Donald Penn.
Again, Roland Dubs, Marcus Allen is not in this category. Marcus Allen will be in the playmakers category. So was Bo Jackson, Hardcore Raider. We will get to those names in other episodes. I've read you the list that we're working on right now. This is only 16 of the 64. So, don't burn our house down when these names aren't showing up right now. Those names are in the brackets, just not today. So let's see who we got left here. We're at 8. Barrett Robbins, top 10. I don't know. I think the AWOL maybe knocks him out that top 10. Donald Penn's not quite top 10.
No, hold on real quick, man.
Lincoln Kennedy, dog.
We got to put Lincoln next, dog.
Lincoln's next.
Come on, bro. Like there's no question. Barrett Robbins, you failed us. Donald Penn, and Rodney Hudson, you guys are too young in this Raider Nation category, right? As far as your tenure with us and as far as what you accomplished with this team.
But with the names remaining, can I say this? With the names remaining, I do think Rodney Hudson might squeak in at 10 right here. I'm thinking if you're talking about what he's done so far, and I don't think Rodney Hudson's going to be let go anytime soon, and I don't see his play falling off dramatically in any time either. I can't help the team around him. I really can't. Because you could take Rodney Hudson and slide him into any of these championship teams, and he's going to fit in just fine.
Rodney Hudson in the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
With Lincoln Kennedy and Steve Wisniewski and Mo Collins, goddamn.
Dumb, right? Dumb.
Goddamn. Although, let's say this, Barrett Robbins, up until he went AWOL, was the shit.
He was the shit, dog.
He was the shit, though.
Well, I think that pulls him out because, I'm not saying we win that game with Robbins or not, but we're in that fight, and that offense is way more prepared, and Rich Gannon is way better protected in that game. Yeah. So, can we put Rodney Hudson at 10? Pretty please, 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 please.
Definitely have to, man.
I'll give it to you, bro. I'm a Rodney Hudson fan.
No, I mean, who are you gonna put there? Mo Collins? You gonna put Zach Crockett? You gonna put John Ritchie over him? John Gruden?
I mean, Gruden would be the name that pops up to me that I might put above.
He turned this franchise around. When we needed desperately.
Yeah. But at the same time, though, like you guys are saying,
now he's tasked with trying to do it again.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
But Hudson is providing that leadership, that consistency on that line right there, dude. And there's nothing like having that solid relationship that he has with his quarterback.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of things that have disappointed us over the last 4 or 5 years. Rodney Hudson is not one of those things. He's one of the few guys that has been in this era that we could just count on every year to show up and do what he does, and that's what he does. So you're in there, Rodney Hudson, top 10. So we got 6 remaining. You had mentioned John Gruden as being a candidate for the top 10. Now we're at 11. Do you want to give John Gruden number 11? Do you give it to Richie? Do you give it to Mo? Do you give it to Zach? Donald Penn, Barrett Robbins. Does Barrett Robbins make that 11? Is he just one notch out of the 10 because of that AWOL? Is that fair enough to say?
No.
Okay.
No, listen. It's got to be Gruden.
John Gruden.
If you that's it's insulting to not put Gruden at 11 with all these guys that follow being his players at one point in time. Because you can argue that a guy like John Ritchie and Zach Crockett are as important to this franchise because of John Gruden's offensive scheme.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So, yeah, for me, it's John Gruden.
All right, so John Gruden. At 11, is Barrett Robbins good enough for 12 then? Look at me fighting for Barrett Robbins right now. Out of the remaining names, at 12, are you going to put Robbins, Penn, Ritchie, Mo Collins, or Zach Crockett?
Is it a douchebag move that I want to put Collins, even though I think Barrett Robbins was a better player?
I want to put Zach Crockett in this spot.
Is it a douchebag move that I would say put Collins before Barrett Robbins because he at least showed up?
If that's your reasoning, then yes, it is a douchebag.
Pretty fucked up.
I don't know. I don't know that Mo Collins deserves to be number 12 all time. In this list.
Well, not in this. I mean, not number 12 in this 16. In
right.
Well, the question is he's top 15
in this grouping. I'd rather give this to either. I think it's between Robbins, Ritchie, or Crockett.
That's actually what I was thinking of too.
Yeah.
But if that was the case, it has to go back to the man that gives the person the time to give it to anybody else to make a play.
Well, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this though. Before you go there, let's consider these. We're talking about the greatest Raider of all time, and I don't mean just a Raider. You were on the team. I mean you're a Raider. John Ritchie, bloodied face, getting in there, blocking, lead blocking, pass blocking, was a leading receiver on this team for one season during that era.
Yep.
I'm really feeling John Ritchie's coming from the back of the pack right here. I might take this spot at number 12.
I like Ritchie, bro.
Convince me otherwise.
What you said at the beginning of that, when you think of John Ritchie, you think of those 2 fucking bones in his forehead.
Horns,
that
dog.
protruded too fucking far out, that constantly had his forehead bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
After the first series of every fucking game.
Immediately.
This dude was drenched in blood, and he is the epitome of what you would think a fucking Raider looks like on the fucking football field.
You know when they play the autumn wind into games and then they got the mashup of all the NFL films footage? They got to splice Ritchie's face.
Always. They always got to put him in there.
They have to.
They got to.
All right.
Yeah, we got to give Ritchie that, man.
All right. You're outvoted, Bobby.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Ritchie's at 12. Now, this is just maybe clever thinking right here. Maybe I'm just trying to get too cute. Maybe it's the queso. But lucky number 13 seems that it would belong to Barrett Robbins.
Ooh, just because of that?
I mean, it's fitting.
You know what? It did bring him down the notch, down to there.
We've been talking about Barrett Robbins in the last 4 picks here. I think it's time that he lands here. I think the number 13 looks really good next to his name right now. This just feels right. So let's put Barrett Robbins at 13.
I could dig that.
And then rounding out the bottom of this list at 14, 15, and 16, we got Donald Penn, we got Mo Collins, and we got Zach Crockett.
I got to go Zach Crockett next.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zach Crockett scored many a touchdown. Zach Crockett made Greg Papa's career. How about that?
I like that.
How about that?
I like that.
Is that a hot take?
That's a motherfucking hot take. Get him.
Woo! Zach Crockett put Greg Papa on the map. He was cashing Greg Papa checks. What's the chat saying right now?
Oh, man, they're all over this list right now.
Yeah, Mean 519, you bring up Gabe Jackson. Yeah, I know. I was thinking about that when I was putting this list together. Here's the thing, though, about Gabe Jackson is nobody's 100% on Gabe Jackson. There's a lot of people out there that think Raiders should probably move on from Gabe Jackson. I think
I'm not one of them.
Here's my thing. I'm not either. But here's my thing about Gabe. I think his injury history keeps him off of this list. I think his unwillingness to play through injury. And I don't know. I'm sitting here real soft and pasty sitting in my chair. It's really easy for me to say those things. Gabe was here. He would punch me in the stomach, and rightfully so for saying that. Gabe, we love you on this podcast, bro. But when you're looking at the Warriors that are on this list, Donald Penn played through injury. Donald Penn fucking cried in locker rooms after losses. Donald Penn is a Raider.
Yeah.
Gabe Jackson, you've been a Raider longer than some of the guys that are on the rest of these brackets. Bill Romanowski's name appears on one of these brackets. He played one season for us?
Yep.
2 seasons for us? I think one and
season.
Then he cracked an orbital bone, and that was it. Not his, right? It wasn't his. So, but he's a Raider. He's a Raider. He just walks like a Raider. He talks like a Raider, and now he talks for the Raiders. He's still a Raider. He stayed with the organization. So, and we were running light on names. So he got in there in that category. But, I see you with the case for Gabe. I just don't think he makes it in here, man. I don't think.
Not now. Not right now.
Not right now.
I think if Gabe stays with the team, and like I said, I'm a big proponent of bring Gabe back, and he stays healthy. We've seen what Gabe Jackson looks like when he's healthy. A fucking mauler, just angry, right? Just gets after it. So I think if he's able to do that and he's able to prolong his career and continue as a Raider, there's no question that he'll end up on this list.
Yeah,
at some point in time.
Yeah. We'll come back to this at some point.
Hell yeah.
Probably not next season. It'll be too soon, but we will come back to this.
But if let's just say something crazy right now.
Okay.
Okay, this is not real. Okay, don't come at me with some really, Che, you gonna say that shit? You really believe that?
Say it louder for the people in the back.
Listen.
This is not real.
This is not a me trying to tell you guys what's gonna happen next season. Okay, by all means.
Che is not wearing his tinfoil hat.
No, not at all. Not yet.
Not yet.
Spill the
Not
beans.
yet.
Spill the beans.
But listen, if the Raiders were to win a Super Bowl next season, you would have to argue that these offensive linemen now all of a sudden jump some spots in this list, right?
They would.
Because if these are the offensive linemen that are a part of the team and they lead them to a Super Bowl, you got yourself Rodney Hudson. Shit, all of a sudden now, fucking your boys, even Trent Brown and your boy.
You were going to say Trent Brown when you said your boy. It's always some bullshit after you say that.
No, I'm talking about your boys for real, dog.
Okay, let me ask you this because I like this. I like where you're going with that. That's a really good point. If it came down to it, then all these linemen, they go up a notch because they got a ring on their finger, right? Is Richie Incognito more of a Raider than Gabe Jackson?
Oh,
based on the definition of a Raider.
I mean, you got to say Richie Incognito kind of has a little bit of the Romanowski.
That's what I'm saying.
If he were to get a ring,
with the Raiders,
he jumps above Romanowski now with that same Romanowski-esque thing about him, right?
I would disagree.
That crazy white boy. He's that crazy white boy, dog. You know what I mean? So, look, I would say that. I would say if, these are ifs and whats and not realistic takes right now. But if they were to win a Super Bowl next season, all of a sudden the entire offensive line that currently exists hops onto this list and jumps a few spots if they are already on here.
Well, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
I'm just saying.
That's a hottish take.
I'm just saying.
That was good.
That's at least a little mild.
You make good points.
Doc feels a little disrespected that Crockett was ranked so low.
He was, but you're looking at Hall of Famers and Super Bowl winners above him, and that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah,
Doc,
man. I mean, who you gonna? I mean, it's you wouldn't put him. Like I said, I wasn't gonna put him above a guy like. Well, I guess the only one that you might argue would be like John Ritchie and him. Yeah, right. Because John Ritchie, although he did all those other things, how many touchdowns did he have versus Zach Crockett? Right.
And also consider this. I mean, if you're unhappy with the ranking, just consider the fact that Zach Crockett is being considered on the greatest Raider of all time bracket. Period.
There you go.
So
There you go.
That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But I think the chat's got the rest of this pretty much nailed down for us. The good doc is on there saying, as well as, who was the first one to say, Blind Athlete and Juice all concur that this list rounds out with Zach Crockett, Mo Collins, and Donald Penn. So I think we got Zach Crockett at 14 already.
Yep.
So I have no problem putting Collins at 15 and Donald Penn in there at 16. You guys nodding your head in agreement.
I'm good with it.
Sounds good.
All right, so let's look at this. Let's read this off by ranking, and then I'll have you guys talk, and I'll actually place these into the brackets, and I'll give you guys a preview what the matchups are going to be, and we'll get those tweeting out probably tomorrow. I'm going to try to get this list out tomorrow. Well, and we also have to decide how many matchups are we going to do per week. So I'm thinking out of this 16, maybe we'll break it down 4. But we don't vote on these until we fill out the rest of the brackets, though, right?
Yeah.
Actually, so I won't be tweeting those out, but I will tweet out what the bracket looks like, but we won't start the votes until all of these brackets are set. So just to be clear, we are going to set these brackets for the next 4 episodes, and then the voting will begin. But you'll have a chance to see what this first round in this bracket is going to look like after this episode. So at number 1, we got Jim Otto. At number 2, we got Gene Upshaw. At number 3, we got John Madden. At number 4, Art Shell. At number 5, goes to the post, Dave Casper. Right behind him, Dave Dalby at number 6. Henry Lawrence, 3-time Super Bowl champion, at number 7. At number 8, you got Steve Wisniewski, the Wiz. Number 9, Big Lincoln Kennedy coming to the stands to whoop your motherfucking ass. Number 10, Rodney Hudson. Number 11, Jan Gruden. Number 12, John Ritchie, all bloodied up with the horns protruding. Yep. Lucky number 13, Barrett Robbins. Don't invite him to your party. He will not show up. Number 14, Zach Crockett. Number 15, Mo Collins. And number 16, Donald Penn, pulling up, stepping out, whipping your ass. So let me set these brackets right here. And I don't know, man. You guys talk about something, dog. Talk about that salsa. How y'all feeling about that salsa right now?
Hey, man, the salsa's treating us well right now. This guess, I do dig the queso a lot, man.
It's tasty.
It's got good flavor.
Yeah,
it's got good flavor. I'm not even gonna lie.
Salsa update.
It makes you want to just keep going back and getting some more, even though you're probably like, I should probably cut myself off right now.
No, it's definitely it's definitely a comforting pair of salsas that we have right here. It's funny because I was looking at chat for a second, and then I moved over to look at the mic, and there was a time delay right there, and I was like, "Whoa!" I thought that was just in the chat. I was like, if there's a time delay happening right here, then yeah.
Real quick to Scott S. It's in the chat. He says, "Where's Tim Brown, bro? We're not done with these lists yet." Okay. Obviously, Tim Brown is going to be on the greatest Raider of all time list. This is only the first grouping of Raiders, man. We got another 3 groupings of 16 coming your way in the next 4 episodes of the Pillaging Podcast.
Do you want to read off some of these other brackets?
Yeah, you know what? Let me just reassure.
Just to reassure the people.
Let me just reassure you guys that we're not going to leave off the most important Raiders in fucking Raider history, okay? So in group B, let's call it. Okay, we just did Group A. Group B, we have Al Davis, Amy Trask, Ben Davidson, Bill King, Chester McLaughlin, Daryl Russell, Greg Beekert, Greg Townsend, Howie Long, John Matuzak, Khalil Mack, Lyle Alzado, Otis Sistrunk, Phil Villapiano, Rod Martin, Ted Hendricks. That's Group B for you guys, okay? That's 16 Raiders right there. In Group C, we have Bo Jackson, Charlie Gardner, Daryl LaMonica, Derek Carr, Fred Bolitnikoff, George Blanda, Kenny King, Jim Plunkett, Tom Flores, Kenny Stabler, Marcus Allen, Mark Van Egan, Napoleon Kaufman, Rich Gannon, Tim Brown, and Todd Christensen.
Very nice.
Yeah, take that in. In And then the last grouping that we have that will come in a few weeks, Group D is Charles Woodson, Cliff Branch, Eric Allen, Eric Turner.
With the big ass shoulder pads, dog.
With the biggest shoulder pads you've ever seen in your goddamn life. George Atkinson.
Mm-hmm.
George Atkinson. Jack Tatum.
Hit him.
Lester Hayes.
Stick him for days.
Mike Haynes. Nnamdi Asomugha.
Y'all called him Asamuga when you first saw him. Don't even fucking lie, dude.
I did. I'm not gonna lie.
Skip Thomas.
Dr. Death.
Willie Brown.
Yeah, you know the run back. You know that pick six.
Ray Guy.
Hitting the top of the Superdome.
Sebastian Janikowski. Shane Leckler.
Commitment to ecstasy, Sebastian Janikowski.
Shane Leckler.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Romanowski. And Ron Wolf.
Ooh, y'all didn't expect that name.
Ron Wolf.
But it has to be there.
Yes.
General manager for the Raiders from 63 to 74.
Yep.
Yeah.
Made it happen. So there is 4 groupings. We have just given you the first ordered group. Okay, on today's show, we have 3 more groups that we will discuss over the next 3 episodes. And once all the rankings are set, we will get this motherfucking tournament going, dog. All right.
By the way, I just got to reset this. Got to give another shout out to Dragon Dave's Medicated Sauce.
Yeah.
Dragon Dave's Medicated Sauces on IG. You're going to want to get a whole bunch of this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the queso. Get the fucking queso.
It's Bobby Wasabi approved, man. And you know how I am, man.
It's Pillaging Podcast approved.
I have a high tolerance, man, and this motherfucker's a creeper, dude.
It's a creeper.
Oh yeah.
I will say order in small batches. These are handmade, so I'm pretty damn sure they don't have preservatives in them. They are in airtight containers. They're packed in mason jars, so they will keep. But the minute you open these, you're going to want to finish these off in a couple of days. So don't order too many and bust them all open and taste testing, because you ain't going to work that week.
And you're gonna wait. And you're gonna waste fucking salsa.
And you're gonna waste salsa. Bro. So you order a couple flavors, check them out, throw them out at your party, put them at your mom's house. You know your dad likes salsa, so you don't have to say. You just enjoy the ride.
This is how you ease the folks into the 21st century.
That's right.
It's like, hey, check it out. This is also good for the salsas too, man.
So we did tweet him out in the shout outs. So if you want to follow him on Twitter, you can do so. But if you just put in Dave's Dragon Medicated Sauces, you would find him pretty much every. And just put that in your Google machine and do the work. So that's it. So let's look at this first bracket, what the matchups are going to be when we get there, because I'm looking at these right now and they're too exciting not to talk about. So we rank these just like the NCAA tournament. So 1 versus 16 in that first matchup is going to be Jim Otto versus Donald Penn. Some of these rankings are going to take care of themselves. It gets real interesting in the middle of the pack, though, because ranked 8 versus 9 is Steve Wisniewski versus Lincoln Kennedy. That is going to be a matchup to watch.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
That's a good one.
Dave Casper versus John Ritchie. I think you're going to see Dave Casper edge out, but don't count Ritchie out. He's a fan favorite. Got a lot of younger folks on Twitter. A lot of people became fans around that time. So I think John Ritchie, there's a chance for an upset there.
There you go.
There's a chance.
No, I agree.
But I doubt it happens. Next one's also a good matchup. Archell versus Barrett Robbins. That's a good conversation to have. Archell should win that hands down, but you never know. Dave Dalby versus John Gruden. Now that's tough. You got a coach versus a legendary center. But John Gruden is loved by Raider Nation, dog.
He is.
Well,
that could be an upset.
Half of Raider Nation, because I know a lot of other people that aren't too pumped on his play calling.
This is true. This is true.
John Madden versus Zach Crockett. That's probably an unfortunate matchup for Crockett, but again, be happy you made the list, and that's no cap, no shade. Henry Lawrence versus Rodney Hudson. Ooh, that's cool. That's cool.
A tight one right there.
And then Gene Upshaw versus Mo Collins. Sorry, Mo Collins. You be happy you made the list. So that's going to be, again, that's bracket A. So we got 4 of these brackets, A, B, C, and D. So those are just the big nasties. Obviously, you're going to see some names in there like Gruden that don't really fit into that category, but they had to go somewhere. So we had an extra slot. That's where we put them in. We tried, in terms of coaches and stuff, we tried to keep them at least with their personnel grouping. So like Al Davis, you'll see him in the defensive grouping. You know, a lot of people considered Al Davis to be coaching his defense during his entire, you know, run with the Oakland Raiders, his entire legacy, dynasty with the Oakland Raiders, whatever you want to call it. So things like that. Amy Trask obviously doesn't fit in either category, but we wanted to put her in the same bracket with Al Davis because we felt like that's a good matchup. So we'll see how the rankings work out. I imagine Al Davis is going to probably be ranked in the top 5, maybe probably even top, you know, number 1 in that bracket. It's Al Davis. We wouldn't even be sitting here having this conversation without Al Davis. So definitely also a favorite to win the whole thing. It'll be interesting to see like an Al Davis versus Jim Otto in the finals or in the championship round or something like that. So it'll be interesting. It'll definitely be interesting. And shout out to Bobby who had the decision to separate this offense and defense, and then we had to break it down into 4. So that's kind of where we came with skill sets versus, you know, strength positions. But yeah, it was a great idea, man. It was a good idea. This is going to shape up really well.
Yeah, this is going to be great, man.
It's going to be a fun one, man, because it's funny. I was looking at the chat, and a lot of the pillagers are like, yo, that B and Group D are powerhouses. Yeah. And you know what? It's funny because I was like, well, how are we going to do it, man? I was like, because you know, you got the playmakers, and then you got the dogs that just stop everybody, man. And it's like, well, you know what? That's usually how it is. It's offense versus defense, and let's just see how it goes, man.
I'm just glad we're not the ones deciding these outcomes, man.
Right.
We'll let y'all vote on them.
Yeah. We're going to set these brackets and watch you guys go to work. Yeah. And if you guys fucking vote somebody you didn't want on there, that's on y'all motherfuckers. Don't be blaming us.
Yeah, I've been tweeting out the survey. I've been putting out the survey. It's been living on our website. You guys have had plenty of opportunities to make your suggestions, but that's closed now. The brackets are filled, and all we got to do now is rank them and like Chase say, sit back and watch the magic happen. So during that segment, we had a few calls come in. I see Juice is on there. I think I see Gent in the mix. I got an 831 on here. So let's get right to it, man. Let's hit him with that transition. Affect Che, and we're going to get right into the caller segment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to get that sound effect over here, too. Yeah. So let's hit him. Let's go to the calls. This one comes from, can't see, the 831. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, Pillaging Podcast? This is Raider Ray, bail me out, calling from the 209, but born and raised out of the 831.
Word. Still holding on to that, too. I like that.
Jay for introducing me, man, to you guys. It was really, really nice meeting Bobby Wasabi out there at the game, Kenny Stapler, Kane. And, man, just wish we would have had more opportunity to hang out at the last game out there in Oaktown.
And he continues?
My bad, man. Looks like my last call got disconnected. What's up, the Pillaging Podcast? This is Raider Ray, bail me out, calling from the
I'm going to jump ahead here.
Got to be one of the most insightful yet realist podcasts
I've
ever heard on behalf of the Silver and Black.
Appreciate
you guys are making us really proud, bros. And shout out, man, for Che introducing me to you guys after the game, the last final game out there in Oaktown. It was a pleasure meeting Bobby Wasabi, Kenny Stapler, and Kane. Wish we would have had more time to hang out, but I get your guys' time is limited. A lot of folks that want to mingle with you guys. A lot of people that want to interact with you guys. But, man, you guys still took the time. And, shit, we made the best of it, man, even if it was short. I know everybody was kind of dooming and glooming and couldn't sit there and just deal with freaking living in our pity. So I remember getting that text from Che right after the game asking me what's up. And I say, shit, you know what's up. rolling this fat ass blunt. I'm about to see you guys out there. So it was cool sharing that
Word.
funny backward with you guys. You know, reflecting on all the memories there at the Coliseum. And shit, man. Wish we would have had more time to do it. So, if all goes well, hopefully, we can share some more time there in Vegas, make some memories together, and looking forward to watching our Raiders kick ass.
That's what's up.
Yeah. It was nice meeting you too, Ray. There you go.
Yeah.
There you
I'm
go.
out.
Yeah. It was nice meeting you too, dog. Che, that's your boy.
That's my boy, man. So a little history lesson real quick. That me and my boy Ray, we kind of grew up together. We lived in kind of the same area of town. And then of course went to similar schools, obviously same junior highs, and we actually met, I want to say in I'm going to say 4th or 5th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. Some times, a lot of years hanging out. Like I said, a lot of stories of and a lot of memories of fucking listening to the Raider game on the radio. And we would go out to this fucking big ass satellite dish he had in the backyard and try to put the radio antenna next to that shit because we thought we were gonna get better reception for the game. We would sit under that bitch, bro. I'm serious. We would sit underneath that bitch in the grass underneath the fucking satellite dish, thinking we were gonna get this. Let's hear this Raider game real quick because we couldn't watch it on TV. That's how committed we were as young Raider fans. Man.
Commitment to excellence.
Yeah,
right
man.
there.
So hey, I as much as I would have liked to have had more fucking experiences out in Oakland with this guy, I was just glad that we got to share the final fucking Raider game.
It's cool.
Together because,
cool.
like I said, we had gone years without talking to each other. We just kind of lost touch, and to find each other like on this final season in Oakland,
Yeah.
it was just like meant to be. It
That's
was dope.
cool.
It was dope. So
Real cool.
Ray, I appreciate you, dog. Appreciate you calling in, and it was great to fucking hang out, man. And I look forward to doing the damn thing in Vegas as well, man. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna figure it out.
Man, those memories you talk about. I mean, again, I hate to bring his name up again, but Greg Papa, like when he left the organization, a lot of people were like, well, what's the big deal? And I said at that time, you know, the blackout rules, we got really close with Greg Papa's voice.
Yeah.
He was really important to a lot of
Yep.
us that had to listen to the games on the radio. And
Yeah,
and now
absolutely.
with this move into Las Vegas, I think a lot of us out here in the Bay Area are wondering the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, are we going to be able to see our team every single weekend on TV? I don't know. When they were in LA, we got most all the games up here, but you know, Las Vegas is in Nevada, so we'll see what happens. I would imagine they're going to do the smart thing, hopefully, and put them on out here. I mean, if the NFL wants to make money,
Right.
which they do,
Right.
that would be the smart thing to do. So let's just keep our fingers crossed as we move forward into that. But
Yeah, I hope so, man. I hope so.
See, I'm glad you brought that up too, man, because a lot of people forget about that part about not being able to watch the game. I mean, I'm not going to kid you. There's been many a times where I get pissed off as hell. I'm waiting for the damn game to come on, and there it is, 5 minutes before it comes on, and boom, screen turns blue.
Yeah.
And I get pissed off as hell because what the hell's going on? And thankfully, I have the damn app on my phone, and I could pull up the game and, you know, just straight telecast it or whatever the hell, dude. But, I mean, this is the trials and tribulations of them just being here. Imagine what it's going to be like when they're gone, man. And that's the one thing that a lot of us kind of slept on right there, man.
It was real brutal for folks that were like, "Oh, I bought the ticket," and they plunked down that 125 whatever it was.
Yeah.
And only to turn it on Sunday. This game is blacked out in your area.
That's bullshit, dog.
What the fuck
That's
do you mean?
bullshit.
Yeah.
Listen, NFL, man, and I don't know if this has been corrected or you know what changes have gone on because I never purchased the ticket, but if you're gonna fucking offer all games to fans, you best make sure that you're giving them their fucking team, their home team, especially their games, because that's a losing business right there. If you ask me, you're going to black out games when you're paying extra money to get all games, quote unquote. Like, you're fucking up.
I understand the business decision behind it because they're trying to support the local TV market and get the real TV ad dollars and give the networks their chance. But when the game is blacked out on that network, you bought the ticket to avoid that and you didn't get it. Thankfully, luckily now the blackout rules have been lifted. I know Niner fans are really excited about that. because they're not selling out their games anymore. So I'd say that they never were. If it wasn't for the corporations, with what was once a family-friendly environment at Niner games and no longer is. They saved their ass, but these days I'm not sure about that. So, but hopefully we'll get some Raider games out here after the move. So let's move on to the 816. You know what that means? It's your boy Gent.
Yeah.
What's up, Pillagers? It's your boy Gent.
What's that?
Man, I wanted to call and be all jovial and shit, upbeat. It's my birthday.
Happy birthday,
and
bro.
then
Yes, sir.
Kobe passed away today with his baby in the helicopter with him, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to belittle the rest of the other people in the helicopter that passed away too, but I know this was a hard day for Che, bro. Hey, whoa. I'm not a Laker fan, but you don't need to be a Laker fan to know when we lost a great one. So, yeah. But back to the Raiders. The reason why I was calling, man, is because I wanted to share a little perspective with the rest of the Raider Nation, bro. I know every Raider fan in the nation that don't feel the same way about the 49ers is Bay Area Raider fan.
Right.
That's just the reality of the fact. New Jersey Raider fans not tripping on Frisco Raider fan or Frisco fan because, they've never dealt with Frisco fans. So I could understand how they feel. But for the Raider fans of the nation, I'm going to let you know, we don't fuck with Frisco. It's just the way it go.
That's right.
Hey, but we don't fuck with the Chiefs neither.
Nah.
And we've been like, damn, one of the teams we hate finna win the Super Bowl. This is fucked up, which is true. That's going to happen. But one of the teams we hate finna lose the Super Bowl.
It's true.
For me, hey, no matter what, bro, one of the teams I hate is gonna lose. I'm gonna be able to talk shit because I got Frisco fan friends.
Yeah,
and
you
I
do.
got Chief fan friends.
Yep.
So no matter what happens, there's gonna be somebody that I'm talking shit to. Somebody gonna be talking shit, but that's inevitable. I just know somebody finna be talk shit. No matter what.
Hell yeah.
Teams we hate finna lose the Super Bowl, bruh. So it ain't all bad. That's all I got to say. It ain't all bad. Yeah, like I say, I wanted to be jovial. But the loss of Kobe's making it hard, bro. Yeah. It's making it hard. Che, keep your chin up. Laker fans out there, the Raider fans.
Oh, he got cut off. It doesn't look like he called back, but Gent, he made his point, man. He made it. He made it again. That was a great call.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Appreciate you, brother.
I know I'm not a Lakers fan either, and I spent most of Kobe's career hating on him. I didn't like the smug look on his face half the time. It wasn't until after he retired that I really came around on Kobe Bryant. Not that I never thought he wasn't great or that I never respected the guy. I just didn't like him as a player. And it was, I think, I was coming around on him already, and then I watched that Muse documentary, and that just floored me. That really won me over. At that point, late, I became a Kobe fan. I know it was after it was all said and done, but came around on him. And when I saw the news, the first thing I did was search to see if it was fake.
Yeah.
That was the first thing I did.
Yeah.
I think, and I saw the interview with Shaq, and he was like, he did the same thing.
Yeah.
Told his nephew, get out of here, man, with all this fake bullshit.
Yeah.
Yep. It's not something you want to believe, and then to find out that his daughter was there. For a minute, it was rumored that Rick Fox is on there too, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
But yes, it's tragic. It's tragic.
For a minute, it was rumored that all his kids were in that.
And
That really same thing. I'm not a Laker fan. I liked Kobe when he first came out because that was the story. Is that this kid coming straight out of high school, going, to play in the professionals. And I was like, yo, this is pretty cool, man. There's not a lot of cats out there that have a talent like that that could just step into the pros and actually make something happen to themselves.
Yeah.
And so hearing him in that, I was in disbelief as well. I was with my lady and I looked at my phone and I was like, what the hell is this? And I was like, what? His kids? I was like, no, nobody should. No, hell no, dude. I was like, no, and even then I was like, maybe him. But but he's young. But I mean, not his kids, man. That was the one thing I said to myself is like, please don't let it be his kids because he at least got to live his life. His kids are still kids, and they deserve a chance to live their life, man.
And Kobe wasn't done, man. He was on his way to doing many more great things, I believe, in his life. So
absolutely,
very tragic. Let's give a moment of silence here to Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you will be missed. You will be missed. I saw they did light up Oracle in purple and gold, and just very, very classy, very tasteful tributes all around the world for Kobe Bryant.
Everywhere, man. I gotta say that. The NBA as a whole if they were on it immediately too, because unfortunately, a lot of the teams were faced with a game that night.
Yeah,
and they were fucked up, man. All the players were really fucking. They were hurting, man. You could tell. We were talking about it. Obviously, we've talked about it, and the day of, I wasn't aware until you guys told me. So you and Paulie told me. So much like you guys, I didn't fucking do anything else. I just watched the news as it came in. But I think one of the things that you could say about Kobe is I think his greatness, even though a lot of people did the comparisons between him and Jordan, and a lot of people after the fact now have basically argued to drop him out of even top 5 conversations and shit like that. Basically just like to throw salt on his name and push LeBron above him and whatnot. And I don't have no problem with you like who you like, but I think nobody realized how great Kobe Bryant was until this happened, when they realized just how much influence he had over everybody that you guys now want to say is above a Kobe Bryant with 5 championships. It's like this guy touched so many players. He influenced so many players that I would argue that his greatness might surpass a lot of these greats because of it. Like where you have a Michael Jordan who was viewed from afar. He didn't allow too many players to get close to him and actually learn from him if they weren't teammates. He embraced one guy, and that was Kobe Bryant. Kobe turned around and realized, like, I gotta give this gift off because I gotta leave this league in better hands, and I gotta leave my imprint in much more ways than just fucking championships.
Yeah,
and the amount of people that are out there that really felt near and dear to fucking Kobe Bryant, that learned firsthand, that were going to his academy and training with him and doing all that kind of stuff. You had everybody. If anybody who's anybody in this league right now was with Kobe Bryant at some point in time, either fucking getting some shit off his brain, asking him questions, trying to gain knowledge, or out there on the court at his academy practicing, working on fucking post moves, footwork, whatever it was, just trying to gain a little bit of an edge on the competition because they knew how great this guy was, and that alone speaks for how great Kobe Bryant was. And that's it. And that's really what I just want to say, because as a Laker fan, I kind of like grew up with the dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant coming out of high school, I was just about, I was in high school. I was a freshman when he first came in the league, and I heard about this young kid in '96 coming out of high school, and that the Lakers had just traded away Vlade Divac to the Hornets to grab him.
Good old floppy Divac.
And everybody was throwing fucking. They were losing their goddamn minds, right? Because Vlade, Vlade. Everybody remembers Vlade once he was with the Sacramento Kings and playing against the Lakers and flopping all over the place and acting like he was fucking murdered by Shaq. but when Vlade was on the Lakers and he came in as a young baller, and he was under the tutelage of Magic Johnson, like there was a lot of people high on Vlade Divac. Okay, like Laker fans loved Vlade. They thought he was the next great center. He was going to run in line with those great centers. And of course, we couldn't foresee what happened with Magic, right? And that fucking era kind of coming to end with him. But when they traded that guy, I was like, they traded Vlade Divac for a fucking high school kid? My uncle was the first one to tell me, Big O, they got this fucking young kid, Jerry West, trade fucking Vlade Divac for this young kid. You watch? And I was like, okay. And I started watching those games diligently, bro. Yeah. And you started seeing, like, when he did get in the game, he just had something different that all those other guys didn't. And I was a big fan of the team at that time. Cedric Ceballos, Eddie fucking Jones, Nick Van Exel, you know, fucking Eldon Campbell, all those guys. I thought they were all amazing.
Squad.
Right? Yeah, I thought, oh, these guys are young. They're gonna fucking come up. We're gonna destroy people. And those guys just never panned out. And you realize once you got a guy like Kobe Bryant that was just mental wise was on this completely different level. He was trying to be a Michael Jordan of the game. He was trying to be a Magic Johnson. He was modeling himself after those guys. You realize what they were lacking, right? You saw those guys and you're like, these guys are talented. They're fucking great. But then when you got a guy like that, you realize what they were lacking and what wasn't going to get them to become the greats that he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Painful loss for Laker Nation. But also just painful as far as humanity goes, bro.
Yeah, very much so.
3 young girls died in that helicopter crash, you know, along with a pair of parents, another mom, and another mom of 3 that was just there to coach for her love of the game and appreciation to Kobe, you know. So sad day, man, and it still rings. Even though it's been a couple weeks now.
Thoughts and prayers to all the families attached to that tragedy. Yeah. And we'll leave it here. Mean519 in the chat says this, and I'll just quote him, legends never die. Kobe will always be remembered. And that's the truth, Ruth. Let's go here to the 360.
Kenny J. Kane. What's up, villagers? This is Pete. How we doing?
What up?
Well, I'm going to start off. This is a direct message from Raider Nation to the NFL League office. You have 48 hours to rescind the Offensive Rookie of the Year award and give it to Josh Jacobs. Otherwise, we will mobilize and airdrop our weapon of mass destruction.
I love Pete.
Malcolm. The Malcolm bomb is coming to New York if you don't fucking do something about this. And all I got to say to you, may God have mercy on your soul. Anywho, what's up, everybody? Man, we got a Super Bowl today. It's some game, I guess, like, you know, between these two teams. And, you know, I got to say something. A lot like last year and a lot like 2013. Whenever anybody asks me this week, like, oh, who do you think's going to win the Super Bowl? Who do you have? Blah, blah. I give them the same answer I gave for the Broncos-Seahawks Super Bowl. I say I hope both teams lose, and if I'm going to root for anything, I'm rooting for an earthquake, okay? You know, so, like, Kermit the Frog can finally go back to the fucking ocean with that giant fucking walrus fuck that keeps whooping our ass every year.
Real quick, I want to pause this right here before it moves forward. First of all, it's an awesome call, Pete. We love your phone calls. Hands down. Caller of the year, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Well deserved. You got that nasty, Mr. Nasty time.
Yep.
We'll have to start calling him Mr. Nasty.
Mr. Nasty time.
I think you just got your nickname, Pete. The Broncos Seahawks Super Bowl. Now, the Seahawks, they had moved on from our division, so I was firmly attached to the Seahawks in that Super Bowl to whoop the Broncos' ass.
Absolutely.
And see 49er fan cry one more time. See 49er fan cry.
Those are fucking facts, bro.
I agree with your take, too. But again, like Jen said, I'm out here in the Bay Area, so that's where I was in the Super Bowl. I just wanted to say that.
And you know what? To all my brethren and ladies and gentlemen out in the Bay Area, God bless you.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. You're Niners fans, but because of my loyalty to Al Davis, and because I just find Kyle Shanahan to be a giant douche canoe, I don't care. Oh, and yeah, by the way, if you want to ask, like, if I'm salty about the last battle of the Bay, yeah, I'm totally salty. Fuck yeah. Yeah, dude, I'm still mad. All right? Fuck off. I don't care.
Also, I appreciate that. Just so you're clear, the three of us here on this panel, we were not rooting for the Chiefs.
No.
We were rooting for a better day at work on Monday.
Yes.
We were rooting for nobody. I said going into the game on the air, our last episode prior to the game, I just want it to be a good game. And if you were to put a gun in my head, I want to see the Niners lose a heartbreaker. I got everything I asked for. Everything.
I got so much work done that day.
It was very productive. Very productive
It
Monday.
was so quiet in the office, man.
People were sans Niners gear on the next day at work. Yeah.
I'm out of tissues in the classroom. I had to put in a request.
Anywho, aside from that, another Raider news, man. Look, this Tom Brady stuff, what I got to say about this, I think that we are being used as a pawn for him to get more money from, say, the Patriots or maybe someone else. Why? Because we have the cap space, and two, it's because of the Las Vegas location, blah, 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 John Gruden this. It's story time. Anytime you can include the Raiders in a story for something negative, the media is going to do it. But anywho, but when it's something cool, it's not going to happen. Number two, I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's just my feelings, because we would have to draft someone at 12 or trade up to get someone else to learn under Brady. Then, I like it when quarterbacks, don't wear kimonos or make out with their son on camera. You know what I mean?
Facts.
It's just not my thing. I got reservations about a lot of other people, but keep on having silver and black, please. Anywho, man, draft coming up, all that good stuff. We'll talk soon, and hope to see you guys on the 7th night. And I hope this game just sucked and everyone's disappointed. Love y'all.
Oh man,
I feel kind of bad for owning a kimono, though.
dog. What?
Silver and black.
Oh shit.
Silver and black kimono, bro.
I was gonna say this podcast just got extended by another hour.
Shit, I need myself a fucking red kimono so I can go out there like fucking show enough and whoop some goddamn ass.
You need to be shown up for Halloween.
Bruce Leroy?
Enough.
It's got to happen, bro.
I gotta add a little I gotta add some fucking hair up top like fucking LeBron James, bro. Give me a week. I gotta add some extra hair up top, bro.
You need that sweatband, bro. That's what we'll do it for you.
you could be shown enough. I'll be Bruce Leroy. Bobby could be one of the Fortune Cookie Factory workers.
Hey, I love fortune cookies.
And one of our ladies could be, what's her name? It was about Barry Gordy's girl.
It was fucking. That's
It wasn't
Lauren Charles on the movie. That's what her name is. Lauren Charles.
I forget her name. It was like Destiny or Misty.
No,
or some
her name was.
You had the album, didn't you, Chad?
Yeah. Hold on.
I got the 12-inch single of it. Willie Hutch.
That was a fucking Princess girl, bro.
Yeah,
she was supposed to be in Purple Rain,
she was hot garbage.
but
Really?
she didn't. No,
Yeah.
she was. Vanity was fine,
Yeah,
bro.
Fuck yeah.
No, her talent.
Oh no, yeah, no.
Talent was
Acting wise
garbage.
was horrible,
Yeah.
but I mean, come on, Apollonia wasn't no fucking Oscar-winning actress either. Come on, bro. No, so Vanity was supposed to be in Purple Rain. Here's the story. Vanity was supposed to be in Purple Rain, but she refused to go topless in that lake scene. So Prince fired her ass and brought in Apollonia with her big old jugs ass. And she said, "Get in that lake."
He said, "I want your tits."
And then he said,
"Tits."
Why don't you purify yourselves in the waters of Lake Minnetonka?
Yeah. The Vanity didn't want none of that purification.
Oh no.
Hey, shout out to Damage Inc., Raider Nation Scotland. He said, by the way, feck those Oscars. They're crap. Give me a Nesty any day of the week.
There we go.
There you go.
There we go.
Right.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood gets a Nesty for movie of the year, in my opinion.
There you go.
That was a great movie. I don't care what you say about Bruce Lee. It was a parody. It was supposed to be funny.
It was a great movie.
It was a great movie. 561. Let's go to the 561.
What's up, Kenny? What's up, Che? Happy good evening and happy good off season to all of my Raider Nation.
Cheers.
This is Omar from West Palm Beach,
What up?
enjoying the absolutely beautiful weather. I don't know where the fuck anybody else is. I know where you guys are, Kenny and Che, but if you're a Raider fan and you're anywhere around the world, I'm sure you're loving it. Life is going to be weird for the next few months, but you know what? Fuck it. My man, Hart, he's going to play for us. Let's put all the fucking bullshit down.
I can't get through that, man. It sounds like you're rustling around a little bit there. maybe your windows down.
Sound like outdoors, man. Sound like a little windy out there.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Omar. No shade to you. Just get your game tight when you call in. Make sure you're locked in an underground bunker somewhere with the lights off. You know what I'm saying?
Just like you have to stand like on that side of the yard where the wind isn't hitting, bro.
Yeah,
because it sounds like he outside like doing, like taking care of the yard and stuff.
My man's getting work done for sure.
Go, homie. Go into your doomsday fucking bunker.
Yeah, you
go do your doomsday bunker.
That's some rich white people shit, dog.
Lock the top. Hey man, there's a lot of you gotta watch preppers, bro. You gotta watch preppers. There's some crazy. Hey, they're all crazy, bro. Crazy comes in all colors, bro. Okay.
Hey, shovel only costs.
Yeah, you go into your fucking doomsday bunker, bro. Okay, where you got your fucking your goddamn army rations. Okay, you go sit down on that fucking couch. And you make a goddamn call into the Pillaging Podcast and make sure that shit's clear, okay? Yeah. You make sure that shit's clear. We want to hear everything you got to say.
We do. We want to hear what you got to say, Omar. Call in again next week, and we'll get you on the air. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Much love. We do appreciate you calling in, though. My man was multitasking, so you know he's busy, dog.
Hey, well, it's because I do that too, man. Fuck, I'll be out in the yard doing take care of housework or whatever the hell it is, and sometimes it's windy, man, and you gotta take a phone call or some shit. You know,
It's true. We're gonna go to 408. This is the last call of the night. This comes from Juice, no doubt. It's a two-parter. I'm just gonna say this now because I don't know if Juice said it or not, and Juice knows the drill, and I'm not calling Juice out. I'm calling all of you out. If you get cut off and you got to call back, I've already told you keep it under 3 minutes. But if you have to call back. You don't have to reintroduce yourself.
Yeah, no.
You don't have to shout us out again.
Just continue where you left off.
Just pick it up.
Yeah.
Just pick it up. Just pick the ball up.
We got you.
We got it. Hey, I can see it's the same number. I can see that. I can put 2 and 2 together. Maybe y'all didn't know that, but now you know that. If you got to call back, just keep it moving.
What's up, Nation? It's Juice. The Pillaging Podcast consists of 4 members. Kenny, Kane, Che, and Bobby Wasabi.
You goddamn right.
A-E-I-O-U. And sometimes Y. Now, if you're between the ages of 41 and 47, you don't know that reference, what the fuck were you listening to? Fuck you. Anyway.
That's a Tribe Called Quest reference, by the way, for those of you that don't know. Midnight Marauders, my favorite Tribe album. Juice, I love you for that, dog. That was awesome.
That's fire,
That was fucking awesome. I might have to just sample that, keep that in the bank.
First off, I want to say to Che, our boy Che, he's one of the first people I thought of when I heard the shocking news of the Mamba's passing. I hope you're feeling better, brother. I hope you're getting it together, my man.
Appreciate it.
On to the Super Bowl. That stupid Super Bowl. Can't lie, it was actually a pretty good game. It was exciting. But for the Bay Area Raider fans, it was bittersweet either way. It was kind of a lose-lose situation for us. It definitely sucked to watch Mahomes and Fat Andy celebrating, but at least around here we didn't have to take shit for a while, so it was cool. But you guys know I'm a big Carr supporter. I really am. I want so badly for him to do well, but watching.
I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm watching the feed right here. It's on the delay. Bobby, you trying to suck your own dick or what's going on? And if you are, how's that working?
I haven't removed my third rib yet, dog.
All right.
But I was looking under the table. Something fell.
All right. I was just playing with you. All right, back at it. I'm sorry, Juice. I apologize.
Yeah, elite quarterback that Mahomes is. I hate to say it, my fucking lips curl just speaking those words, but it's true. He's an elite quarterback, and it just shows where we're at and where they're at, and when he's getting hit, and I was watching Inside the NFL on Showtime, and, hearing him mic'd up, and he's like, hit me harder, and he's not sliding, and he's doing this kind of shit, and I'm just thinking, dude, Carr, you'd have rolled over like a $2 whore.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But anyway, draft's coming up, and, the quote, experts, unquote, they have this, all the stuff I've seen, almost everybody has a stake in a receiver first.
Yeah.
And then a defender second. And I've seen most of them have been linebacker. A couple of people put edge rusher, and I think one person, I don't remember his name, one guy put cornerback. Personally, I'd prefer a linebacker. I think it's more of a dire need than the edge. We got Key coming back. We, keep forgetting about him. He's coming back. Let's see, if he's put on some weight, speed still, see what's going on with him. He definitely puts pressure. He hasn't, got to generate a whole lot of sacks, but he putting pressure on. Mad Max is doing his thing. Keep doing it. Farrell, he was starting to come into his own, especially towards the end of the year. They were letting him go after the quarterback a little more. So then we got Big Mo pushing in the middle. No Beach,
Mo in the middle.
No
hopefully,
beach.
He continues his development. He had some real good stuff, as a rookie, and last year, not.
Real quick, it wouldn't be a Raiders off season if people weren't clamoring for a linebacker in the draft.
These are facts.
We want one too. Probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. What can I get any action on if Juice resets the call?
Oh,
or does he keep moving?
Well, I mean, I've done it before, so I'm gonna say reset.
Okay, reset. What do you say?
I'm gonna say he keeps going. I'm gonna say he acknowledges that he got cut off, and he maybe says this is Juice again.
No, that's a reset.
No, that's not a reset if he doesn't reset the first take. Right?
It's a reset if he introduces himself again.
Oh, okay.
At that point, yeah.
Okay, no, I'm gonna say he resets.
Okay.
If that's all it takes, him reintroducing himself, I'm gonna say he resets.
Okay. I want to go against the grain here, but since nobody's kept it moving, I'm gonna have to say reset too.
Okay, let's see.
All right.
Sorry, guys. It's Juice again. Got to land the fucking plane. Sorry. Anyway, dude,
but he called himself out.
That's what I'm saying. I thought that's for sure what he was going to do.
Receiver and linebacker. That'd be cool. I'll try to wrap this up. As far as
and he reset the tape.
I saw that you guys are going to be talking about the all-time Raider thing that you put out there.
Yes, sir.
And if I remember correctly, you said Al counts. And if Al counts, it's Al hands down. There's no question. It's got to be Al. They're synonymous with one another. You think Raiders, you think Al. You think Al, you think Raiders. So, if you're going to let him into the race, then it's him. It's nobody else. Anyway, thanks for the shout-out a couple weeks ago, guys. Made my day.
Yeah.
It's awesome being a part of this community with everybody. And I guess go Sin City Raiders. Peace.
It's go Raiders, dog. It always will be. Love the call, Juice, man. We miss you. We need to get you back up here in the nest. We're running out of seats up here, but you're always welcome to come chill, even if it's on the side. We dig it, man.
It's the time to come right now too, because it's not freaking dripping sweat hot right now. Dog.
Yeah, we will have AC. We'll probably be turning it off during the broadcast, but in between and leading up to, we're gonna cool this bitch down.
Yeah, but if you guys want to come in here and sweat to the oldies like fucking Richard Simmons,
Yeah.
you're more than welcome to join us.
A Bikram yoga session.
Just say it. You get in this fucking Joe Rogan hot yoga class right before the Pillaging Podcast.
Juice, man, great call. Yeah, this bracket's going to get interesting, man. I think, Al Davis, a lot of people are going to make an argument for him. A lot of folks will argue for Jim Otto. I would expect to see John Madden get deep into this, as well as Charles Woodson and Tim Brown. Those are the names that I see going real deep into this that are no-brainers to be lasting. But one of those could catch a tough matchup and catch an early exit. We don't know how this is going to flesh out. So it's really up to you guys. So, I mean, again, the votes are going to be in your hands. We'll be ranking Group B on the next episode. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, boy.
Let's do some shout outs. Let's get out of here, man.
Shout out.
Shout out to Scott Scooter, Michael SLK on Twitter, California Goddess, Johnny Solano, Jonas Miner, Raider Wop, which I think is a different guy. It's Raider_WAP. I don't think that's El Wapo, who didn't call in this week, so I got to check in on him, make sure our homeboy's doing all right.
WAP, I believe, is out there working hard right now. Last time I talked to him.
Okay. He's on that grind. El Cachanilla II, Jose Gutierrez Cano, Silky Slim, Raider Mike 78. Yep. Shout out to Aiden. Shout out to Mike Mayock Jr., Slick Willie McMasters. Shout out to Hercules Raiders, Big Dick Randy. Shout out to you, missed an opportunity to be Randy Big Dick. But that's okay. Garrett Raider. Shout out to Garrett. Shout out to Raider Roots. Hassan, JW Worm 13, Johnny Gomez, Raider Ryan, Kevin Vance, John Freitigino. I don't know how to say that. Joe Freitigino, I think. Shout out to J Cash 3, Lil Ron Jr., King B, James Oni Jr., and Daniel Pignon on Twitter, on YouTube. Shout out to No TV10, Lee B, Chester de Guzman, Spotlight Sports Talk. You guys are awesome. Phenomenal C. And the last episode's guest, Ryan Hawks. Thanks for subscribing to the YouTube channel. I recommend all of you please do so, as we're going to have some bite-sized chunks for you guys, and hopefully some also unreleased content in the future on our YouTube channel. So you're going to want to check out for that. Shout out to you guys. Do you have any shout outs before I do the big shout outs?
Yeah. I got some IG shout outs here. Bear with me. Simon D. Solis. We got a shout out to Steve Roms. Shout out Heaven on Earth. Shout out El Chucky Cortez 24. Shout out to our girl Heidi.
Yeah.
With the One Nation pod. Okay. Right.
Yeah,
They got their new pod out there, her and Raider Homer. So shout out, because you already know Kevlar prom dress. She rides with us. Then we got shout out to Medina 561. Shout out to Raider Party Podcast. Shout out to K Bar 69. And shout out to Justin Bathke. Shout out Huggy Bears. And shout out to AHT96.
Yeah, who also followed us on Twitter. So those came in today, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so shout out to you guys. The Raider Party Podcast, I think we met, Bobby and I met them out in New York, right?
Yeah, we met them in Hell's Kitchen, man.
There you go.
Yeah, good times.
They're a lady and a gentleman that do that show. That lady was on fire, man. She was awesome. Her personality was turned up. She was cool, and dude was real laid back. They were a cool dynamic.
Yeah,
they were fun to hang out with.
Cool peoples indeed, for damn sure.
Super cool. You could tune into their show. They talk to you about away games, the best places to go party, places to stay. Basically, if you're looking to travel and go to a Raiders game, that's a podcast you want to listen to, because they're documenting all their experiences on the road. So that's pretty cool. That's a nice niche. With all the Raiders podcasts that are out there, they found a really unique niche. So that's cool. Make sure you guys check them out.
Yeah, just think of it like someone kind of laying down the groundwork for y'all, trying to make sure that you land in a very friendly atmosphere.
There you go.
Yeah.
To make sure that you walk into family, not just like some random place, and hopefully it's cool.
Yeah.
You know where to go.
It's like the diners, drive-ins, and dives of Raiders podcast.
There you go.
Hey, that's a good one.
Dope. Shout out to Guy Fieri, who's also a Raider fan and a tremendous douchebag, from what I've heard. No, I don't know that. I like his show. I like Guy. I'd like to get Guy on the show and have him clear up that reputation that somehow he came up with. But yeah, there's some old producers putting him on blast out there, and that's not cool. That's not cool.
Maybe they were fucking Niner fans.
Probably, dog. That's probably what it was. So, Guy, Guy, you keep doing your thing, man, and keep them chicken fried steak recommendations coming, dog. Big shout outs to D-Man and Patrina Satfield for donating this last week. We really appreciate it. If you guys ever want to buy Che a beer, buy Bobby a pre-roll, or help pay for this Libsyn subscription. It's really hard to say Libsyn subscription.
It's almost like Worcestershire.
People are like, damn, Katie, that's easy for you to say. Or you want to pay for my Pornhub premium subscription? Hey, it's worth it. You can donate via the YouTube chat by hitting the little cash icon, or of course you can go to paypal.me/PJ4F, and that's on PJ4F.com too. There's a direct link on there as well. But if you want to send us a little bit of cash, it definitely helps out. We're actually building the stack right now because we got plans for the Crow's Nest. We love the green screen. We love the video backdrops. We also want to give you guys some raw footage, but this place needs a facelift before we do that. It needs a little Raider makeover. Most of our Raider stuff is downstairs, so there's a lot of things that we need to do, include clearing out this giant pool table that has seen better days, and it's upstairs, and I don't even know how we got it up here to begin with. So
hopes and dreams, man. That's how it came up here.
Yeah, unless somebody wants to come take it off my hands, you got to get out of here. You can have it for free, otherwise it's going to cost me money to get rid of it. So we're gonna save up some money. We're gonna hopefully give this place a facelift by the start of next season. That's the plan. And also big shout outs, of course, to Dragon Dave's Medicated Sauces. Speaking of these backdrops, shout out to Edit Out Society for hooking us up with the new collar backdrop and the new transition. We got more to come, more on the way there. And a big hearty shout out to Carmen's Barbecue in Hayward. Y'all showed mad love. The food is delicious. I recommend everybody go in there and check it out.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And I mean, if y'all want to try some Jamaican food as well, hit them up ahead of time because they definitely got you on lock and they'll hook you up. And it's definitely a family atmosphere. That's why it's called Carmen's Family Barbecue.
And if Jamaican food's not your thing, this is a barbecue spot. Like, it will not taste foreign to you. But the sides and all, the collard greens, we're smacking. I ate 3 cups of collard greens.
Right.
Oh my God.
That cornbread, bro. They got the brick smoker up in the joint.
They do.
So it ain't no like, they just like, microwaving the motherfucker.
Y'all motherfuckers made me hungry the first time that you guys were speaking of this. Now you guys want to go back in on this at the end of the show? Come on, man.
I got another bag of chicharrones with your name on it downstairs.
Hey, salsa update. They're working.
It works.
It works.
Oh, man. Anyways, that's it for this week's show. Tune in every week wherever podcasts are found. Call in. Leave a message to be played on air. 408-909-PJFF. Download the official Pillaging app available for iOS and Android. I may be discontinuing support for those soon. It's costing me money. I don't know how many of y'all have it. If you want me to keep the app, tweet about it. Let me know about it. Make some noise about it. DC4L CustomTees.com. If you want a Pillaging podcast t-shirt or hoodie over there, you can do so. If you see a design and you want it on another piece of apparel, just let DC4L know and they will hook you up. A big shout out to OneNationFanwear.com for keeping us dipped in the freshest Raider gear all the time, including this hat. I'm not wearing a One Nation shirt right now, but I usually do, and I'm actually going to get myself a fresh order here in a couple weeks. So again, please donate to the show, paypal.me/PJ4F, or right here in the YouTube chat. You can do so. Be sure to listen to our network podcast partners, Crow's Nest Podcast Network, the Ladies of Darkness, Put on Waivers Podcast, East Coast Nation Podcast, who dropped an episode recently, the No Ledge Podcast, currently on hiatus. Bring it back, boys, bring it back. Our newest entry is the fan club Blitz, joining us from the Murph's Man Cave, now completely uncensored. But the podcast doing the most work right now is the Nation Podcast. Same guys from the fan club Blitz, except they are talking about all of their favorite beers, which is all of the beers. So that's an exciting show, and they're actually hitting up a lot of festivals right now. Those guys are actually out on location, and they're trying a lot of interesting stuff, talking to a lot of brewers. So if you're into beer, I highly recommend the Nation Podcast. A lot of people have described those guys as like the East Coast version of the Pillaging Podcast, or the Pillaging Podcast as the West Coast version of them. We've both been around a long time, so respect to those y'all. Respect to Chuck, respect to Groby, Potts, everybody in that camp. You guys are wild. Glad to get to meet you when we were out in New Jersey. Shout out to the Blackout Podcast. Sean, where the fuck you at, dog? You blacked out, dog. He's like, I'm trying to raise a family, Kenny. Goddamn. I see you, Sean. We'll wait patiently. That's a really good show. Sean, I don't think you realize how good you are at this. We miss you.
Yep.
And last but not least, shout out to the Crow's Nest Podcast, which may be rejoining you next week. It is a holiday weekend. We all have Monday off, so that's a good chance.
Oh, yeah.
That we get back in studio for
that always gives us an opportunity to test the waters.
It's that extra day, man.
Yeah, man.
Get to sleep
Get a little late night fucking show.
Get a little weird.
Yeah, get real weird. It gets real weird in the Crow's Nest.
I will say this, the Crow's Nest Podcast, if you haven't checked it out yet, I really urge you to do so. I know not everybody that listens to the show enjoys all of the peripheral banter, all of the non-Raider banter, but I know a lot of you do. I know that's what brings a lot of you guys back. If you like that, you're going to love the Crow's Nest. Trust me. It's like, you think this podcast is uncensored? Yeah. You need to check out the Crow's Nest Podcast. They're not time sensitive. You can go back and listen to anyone at any time. So if you haven't checked it out, find the Crow's Nest Podcast. You will recognize it by the logo. I guarantee you it's got the One Nation graphic design touch to it. There's a couple other Crow's Nest podcasts out there. That's why I say that. You will find ours. Look for the white icon. Look for the big crow. Look for the silver and black, most importantly.
That's right.
And check us out. Until then, keep the win in your sails and the rum in your mug, pillage Raider Nation, and pillage on. This has been a production of the Crow's Nest Podcast Network. I'm Kenny Stapler, joined as always
by your boy Che.
And now,
Bobby Wasabi.
caught myself off guard. We out here. Peace. Go Raiders.